Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Wednesday, March 29th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORION NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We are going to be doing 2023 MLB opening day matchups and a preview, specifically my Seattle Mariners, but we're going to go over the Cardinals, the Braves, a few of your favorite teams. In the meantime, I got the Sixers and the Mavericks on right now. It's in the fourth quarter. Phillies up 110-105 with about 3:35 left to go. Embiid with a deep three. And then after this game is over, I know they're transitioning into the T-Wolves and the Suns, and we're going to get to see Kevin Durant, play for the very first time in about, 10 games, 10 days? It's been a while. I think it's like 10 games that he missed. So it'll be interesting to see the kind of chemistry that he has. But I didn't really want to do that particular game as far as like a live play-by-play and reaction. We'll do those later. We have a big day tomorrow with everyone, kind of getting situated with everything. And I got the thumbnail and everything going. And let me tell you, having a week off, when you're sick and you have the stomach bug, is the absolute fucking worst, right? So I already had like one of the worst days of my life being sick with that stomach bug. Then a couple days pass, and then unfairly, I get hit with a 1 week ban when I don't even show, any video whatsoever. It was frustrating because, like I said, this is my full-time job, and all I want to do is be able to record, and obviously just recording simply on another platform like Twitter only isn't going to cut it. It's nice to be able to, get those people that are spying on me and the people that want to watch specifically there. But, I got to be able to have my baby, what I've been working on for 11 years. And so it really feels good to be back. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Megan in the building. She's going to be doing the Hawk's Nest. Sarah, hey, it's been a while. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. But I do feel that they kind of made an example out of me for no reason. Like whoever was reviewing the video, whether it was someone through the WBC, World Baseball Classic, or whoever has the rights, there was plenty of people that were streaming that, maybe there was some audio in the background. But last time I checked, with everything, and I've been doing this for 11 years, I've never got suspended or banned for a week ever. I've had videos taken down. I've had videos blocked in the United States. I've had videos blocked in Europe. But I've never had a video taken down while I was live where they booted everyone out of the room while I was still streaming in like the 5th or 6th inning in the USA versus Japan championship, right? So I didn't even get to finish the game. And then let alone they're going to hit me with a copyright strike and a ban for a week. I mean, like I said, that cost me a lot of money. I was already out a week's worth, of pay. And then to have 2 weeks worth in a month, I mean, I don't even know how to describe how that feels. It's not good. But one thing I do feel good about, me and Sarah, we grinded it out. Luckily, we got a little bit of love from, Odin's Son and Cyberpunk. So they ended up sending me 2 donations to help me get me through. But I'll tell you, grinding it out with limited people and having to do Twitter only and then having to do the Discord, it fucking sucked. You know what I mean? Limited people, donos limited. It is nice to be able to stream on both platforms. And on top of that, I figured out how to be able to increase the views and improve the thumbs. So I figured out, like with logos, as you can see, I started kind of playing around with the logos in the top right, as you can see, and trying to find the good ones, the transparent ones, the things that look flush, that don't have like a circle around it or a square, something that just looks streamlined, like it belongs, right? And then I was able to incorporate some of the skills with the players, as you can see in the thumb. So I think moving forward, this is a good sign, for me. And I didn't even look anything up. I didn't watch any tutorial videos on YouTube or anything of that nature. I just tried to kind of play around with it. I could have made the images bigger, so I'll be able to kind of play around with it. But I put Julio on the front, Cal Raleigh, just trying to play around with it. And I got the Mariner logo on the top right. I thought it turned out pretty good. And then I ended up making a thumb for tomorrow. And that one is already done. I'm super excited. not only for the Mariners, we legit have a shot to win, the American League. Yes, I know the Astros are the best, and you got to get past the champs first, before you want to be crowned champ yourself, right? So it's always going to be Astros, Yankees, and you know what? If a lot of America wants to put the Blue Jays ahead of us, fine. We'll prove to everyone that we're at the very minimum the third best in the American League. But hell, we might be able to be first, second, third. It could be fourth. But I really do feel one of the top 3 spots is ours, regardless if it's Blue Jays, Yankees, Astros, and Mariners. The lineup is improved, and I'm also excited for a lot of your guys' favorite teams as well, specifically Sarah's, because not only did I see a lot of highlights through Jordan Walker, not only did I see Preston selling a lot of the rookie cards that are graded, and, I know he's selling them to make money now, but I really do think that if Jordan Walker doesn't get hurt, you got that nice shortstop for the Yankees who looks pretty damn nice himself too. But I think Jordan Walker, to me, even though he's not ranked the number 1 prospect of this year, you have the shortstop from the Yankees, him, and a few others. But normally those are going to be in the top 5. So I'm thinking, man, if Jordan Walker can stay healthy, same team with the Yankees shortstop, man, it's going to be special. Like, those guys might be able to make the difference to go a little bit further, in the playoffs, right? And then not only that, right? I'm thinking about a guy that may not be a rookie this year, but our guy that's in that same position isn't Julio or George Kirby, it's Kelenic. So if we can get anything from Kelenic, things are going to go pretty good. And let me see here. This is kind of like a projected lineup. So we got the Guardians and the Mariners that we're going to be doing tomorrow at 7:10. And I'll give you a little preview here. So let's just pull this up real quick. So I already showed Sarah, but for people that are watching live on Twitter, here on YouTube, as well as, any other area that we have it linked to. So this is what I kind of came up with here, and I'll take down the banner. But I'm starting to, have a little that Johnny, kind of style, and I'm trying to make it my own, and, I'm trying to make things my own as well. And it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for, something that, I don't have a whole lot of experience. It's just going to continue to get better and better. I can make the player images bigger, obviously, to be more eye-popping. But I figured, to start it off, it's a pretty good start, for just fucking around for a few minutes and trying to get things going. So pretty exciting. Hopefully we can end up having a good day with people coming through. Again, I know we could have probably got more views if I ended up doing the Timberwolves versus the Suns live play-by-play and reactions. I can still watch that in the background, but it sucks because when you miss a week, right, for being sick, then come back for a couple days and then miss a week, I'm losing. I'm not gaining steam. I'm losing steam. But hopefully, some people will get the notification. I can't really count on too many because they don't really help me out on that area, but hopefully we'll get a few people coming through on the Twitter side or on the YouTube side, and I'll be here for the next few hours. We got a whole lot of making up to do, let me tell you, and anything goes on here. MLB, you want to talk about your team, the preview, I'll go over the pitchers and the lineups, obviously with the Guardians and Mariners here in just a moment. We can go over the Cardinals. I can watch this NBA game in the background. We got AEW Dynamite, which I haven't even watched yet either. So there's a lot to go over. And then starting tomorrow, we'll be getting into doing baseball full time. We'll sprinkle in a little March Madness Final Four. We'll sprinkle in a little NBA, but it'll primarily be wrestling. And we also have WrestleMania this weekend. What a block by Embiid right there. But it's a fun weekend. MLB opening weekend is tomorrow. And then we're going to have WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to do that as well. Let's go. I am very excited. Before I realized that WrestleMania was this weekend, and then when I realized WrestleMania was this weekend, definitely excited about that. So as far as the starting lineup is concerned, I'm thinking we're probably going to be starting it off with Julio or Colton Wong. I think it would make more sense to have Colton Wong lead off, but we did have a lot of success with Julio leading off. New photo for y'all as well. I'm always going to upgrade everything every year. There'll still be some that I use from last season, but I'm always going to try to upgrade everything that I do here, every single broadcast, every single day. And even with the streamlined Mariner logo and it looks great. It looks fantastic. So definitely excited about this opportunity for Julio to lead off. Batting second, and this is just me predicting, would be Colton Wong, unless they flip-flop these two. Batting third should be, brand new photo, Ty France. Okay, obviously all-star last year with Julio, big expectations. And we improved our hitting with Kolten Wong, so awesome. And then another guy that we improved the lineup with, so maybe batting leadoff, batting second, Kolten Wong from the Brewers, batting third, the all-star Ty France, love this photo, and batting fourth, cleanup, Teoscar Hernandez from the Blue Jays. So I'm excited to be able to have not only one power guy, but two power guys. And then every once in a while, we'll have a third power guy, fourth power guy, and hell, maybe even a fifth power guy. So we got Julio leading off, Kolten Wong batting second, Ty France batting third, and this is just me projecting. Teoscar Hernandez batting fourth, love that. Eugenio Suarez batting fifth. We have fucking Cal, big dumper Raleigh, possibly going sixth, batting seventh. Jared Kelenic, who's the X factor for us this year. AJ Pollock, I have no expectations of you. Anything you give us besides your leadership is a bonus. And then batting ninth, JP Crawford. Are you kidding me? And then on the mound, we'll have Luis Castillo. So I know Sarah, looking at that lineup, I mean, the only weak spot in the entire lineup, even if you're not familiar with Wong or Hernandez, everything looks so improved and solid that it really is going to come down to, this is the worst player in our starting lineup now, AJ Pollock. I'll take that. If that's the worst guy in the lineup, holy hell. I mean, we should be able to win 95 games or more. I know some people are thinking 90, 91, 92, but I think, I think 90 to 100 wouldn't be that crazy to think. It may take us a year or two to get to that 100 mark, but who knows? Maybe it's this year. It could be. But every piece in the lineup, I feel confident in. Obviously, JP's got to step up. Kelenic is the X factor, since he went down to AAA and then we brought him up. And if AJ Pollock, he's got the leadership, but he's not going to be someone that we rely on like Kolten Wong and Hernandez. If Wong and Hernandez play shitty, you're going to hear about it from everyone in the Mariner organization. If AJ Pollock plays shitty, we don't really mind as much, I feel. Maybe defense. If your offense is going to be there at least defensively and leadership, but hopefully he's a surprise. But I feel pretty much comfortable with anything, but the real keys of the lineup is the back end. Kelenic, AJ Pollock, and JP Crawford. And if these guys can step up, who knows how far we can go. We could hit 95 to 100 wins, possibly get first, second, third, in the American League. Very exciting. Astros, Yankees, Blue Jays, Mariners. I preferably put it Astros, Yankees, Mariners, Blue Jays. And then obviously on the other side, you got plenty of good teams. Dodgers, okay? Braves, Cardinals, Phillies, even though they're not going to have, Bryce there for a little bit. So pretty excited about that. And like I said, it should be fun. Hopefully we'll get some more people to come in. I know I haven't been around. And obviously I know when I do games, that's going to attract more people. But fucking A, man. I haven't been on YouTube in a week. I was only on a couple days and I missed a whole nother week there. So people should know me by now, regardless if I talk about the Mariners or if we're doing a game. That's not going to be the only thing that we discuss. We'll talk about Lamar and maybe the best fits. We'll talk about wrestling and AEW Dynamite and WrestleMania on a 2-day slate, Saturday and Sunday. I mean, there's really everything that we can go over. And a piece of me was thinking, T-Wolves Suns will get more views since I've been gone for so long. But what would I rather go over? And obviously baseball is more important to me than the NBA. And it's just a regular season game. So I figured this would be the mental health, the best thing for me with everything that has gone on. And like I said, a lot of you guys that are loyal to the soil, to the NWSF, regardless if we're doing well or we're struggling, right? The Cardinals have a fun team. The Braves and Jameson have a fun team. My dad's Dodgers have a fun team. I don't really have a lot of friends that are necessarily Yankee fans. Like for people like Sarah, I know people that have them as like Aaron Judge fans and like a secondary team type of thing. Here's Durant about to come out on the floor, and we'll still keep up on the scores with this. But I am just so happy to be back. And like I said, nothing is better than doing the platform here. And hopefully we'll get Cyberpunk or maybe Holly or Odin's son or Shep. I don't know. Like I said, I just tried to be able to check it early this morning at like 2 a.m. and noticed that it was going to work. So I was like, great, this is going to work. But as we go further, The main thing was please be ready by tomorrow so I can cover the Mariner game and I can watch baseball all day. So I'll have a good gauge on what's going on, not just looking at like 1 minute highlights on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Durant has missed the last 10 games with an ankle, which he sprained like just in practice. So it's really crazy that something so little like an ankle would make him miss 10 games. But as people know, ankles can get swollen, sprained, and you can't even walk on them. So I like the lineup too. I'm ready for the Cardinals game tomorrow as well. And the number one player that I'm looking to watch is Jordan Walker. He's the Julio, I feel, of last year. We had Bobby Witt Jr., who's kind of going to be like that Yankee shortstop, I believe. Even Jeter, everyone's raving about him. His defense is good. His hitting is good. But same thing for Jordan Walker. He's got that bigger body. He's kind of has like a Pujols kind of like big body guy. I really think that he could turn into a superstar. And you already got Arenado and Goldschmidt. You got so many pieces there. Contreras. Now imagine if Walker can fill in the shoes for Pujols, and then you already have Contreras filling in for Yadier Molina. I mean, that's exciting, And I know Jordan Walker's cards and his memorabilia is very, very hot. They're posting up Durant, fadeaway. Front rim is no good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know how hard it's been, but thank God that we had Odin's Son and Cyberpunk. Because otherwise, for my mental health, like I didn't stream yesterday. That was really the only day that I took off, even if we were, getting limited donos and limited people on the Twitter. But it is what it is. It just feels good to be back. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. $5 holla, bang, 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 boom, 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 bang, bang. Cactus Jack approves, appreciates you. And there's only a few people I feel that, they're going to be loyal to the soil. Anyone can be on with someone when things are going great. But when things are not going great, you can really see who are the real people that are going to be there. And shout out to Cyberpunk, Odin's Son, Sarah, Jameson. You guys are the best. And those little things like that, I will never forget. Like I said, I got a fucking steel trap for a brain, for memory, for stats and for games and all kinds of memories. But I'll never forget the good times. With Shep breaking the record with the $1,300 dono and having 1,500, 27, 37 in the day. And also on the days where we make nothing and we barely have anyone showing up, from before and just trying to keep a good mental health with everything that's going on. But it means a lot. I appreciate you guys. $5. Let's get to $100 and then hopefully $200 if we're really lucky. And then we got the Mariners and obviously the Guardians tomorrow, which will be the last game on the MLB slate. Thank you so much. I would like to see some Jordan Walker as well. Yes. Andrew, is it Volpe or Volpe? Volpe or Volpe? I mean, obviously I have to go through and, I'm doing all this extra research tonight, pronunciation and everything. And obviously once I watch a couple Yankees games and everything there. So, and I'll get it. Cause like those little things matter, whether pronunciation or not, but yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. And we didn't even talk about Donovan. Yes. Yeah. You guys are stacked. I'm a little jealous. You know what I mean? And it's kind of funny that I saw like a couple of people with like that did MLB tiers. They had us on like the second tier or third tier. It's like they had like the championship contenders, and then they didn't have our teams up there. They had other teams. They had Astros. They had Yankees. Fuck, they had Blue Jays over Mariners, which I thought was kind of bullshit. And then they didn't even have the Cardinals. The Cardinals were with the Mariners in the second tier. Fine. If you want to think we're wild card second tier and we can't do it, we'll be happy to prove that we're a little bit better than you think. So let me get some Jordan Walker up here for you. All right, one sec here. Stare at my new Julio here in the meantime. All right, let's see if I can get a couple good ones here for you. He looks old too. You know what I mean? Like Jordan Walker's got that kind of like Greg Oden kind of thing where he like looks old. He don't look like a rookie or he looks like he's already been in the league like 6 to 8 years. He just has that old look, which I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, it's a shit. I mean, people are going to look at him and be like, whoa. Here's an early photo of him though. So this is early on. That one, he doesn't look as old, but I'll show you a couple of these other ones. Eight, 7 Suns over the T-Wolves. Oh, look at that one. I like that one. Like that one. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He don't look like super young. He already looks like he's kind of like in his late 20s. Good frame, power. I'm actually interested to see like the defensive side because I was able to see some of the other prospects and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out. Yeah, that's gonna be very, very big. And it's kind of crazy. I know Megan's gonna go over to the Hawks Nest, but if they end up picking Hendon Hooker 5th overall, that would be the dumbest shit of Seattle Seahawks history or any team. You know what I mean? Like, you can say that Hooker might be better, than Richardson or Levis. Some people think so, besides the ACL or the tear. But you don't waste picks that high. That's why I'm very nervous about the people that draft Richardson, Levis, and Hooker, because you're drafting them too high. They're not worth, those picks at that number. There's going to be other offensive linemen, defensive players, possible Hall of Famers that would be smarter to possibly draft. But I guess, if a team gets desperate and they want the quarterback this year and they're not going to wait for Arch Manning or Drake May or Caleb Williams, well, then it is what it is. But I mean, I hope that Seattle isn't that stupid. I know even if they like him, that's great. But if you're drafting him that high, you're drafting the position too high. So they already had one of their best drafts in like 10, 15 years last year. We'll see. Because if they do the Hendon Hooker thing, it could pan out. You know what I mean? But it'll be a wasted pick if you already got Geno there. It's like you're drafting insurance for Geno for a guy coming off an ACL, which could or pan out, maybe not. And then there's other guys. I mean, Anderson's going to be off the board, so that's really probably the only for sure, 100% gonna pan out is Anderson from Alabama. But as far as a lot of the other guys in the top 12, there's a lot of question marks. There's more question marks in the first 10 picks in this draft than I can ever remember. And like I said, even Bryce Young and CJ aren't going to be superstars right out of the gates. They probably will struggle just like the other QBs. It might take them a couple years. So, we'll wait and see, but I'm waiting to see what happens. All right, let me take a quick look here to make sure that I set this up correctly. But hopefully, hopefully we'll get some people to kind of come through and show some love. It's like I said, being off for a week was fucking terrible. It was not ideal whatsoever. Right. You know what I mean? And I get it. If he didn't have the injury, maybe we're talking a first round, second round pick or something like that. But, when they're talking about, maybe selecting this player, like 5th overall. Okay. I mean, you already were doing really, really well, but that would be terrible I don't think that would be the smart thing to do. But the thing is that since there's so many question marks with some of the other players, other than Anderson on defense, right? So maybe that's what they're thinking. Well, we have question marks on everyone. So maybe we're just going to pull the trigger. But I think that would be a terrible mistake because I think you could get another elite offensive lineman or defensive player and then get him afterwards. There's a chance that someone reaches up and grabs him, but you don't want to be that guy or that team that drafts someone 5th overall when you could have got him at pick 60, like in the 2nd round or 3rd round. You know what I mean? But if they feel that that's the future, fine. But if you got to think about all the other holes that they have, it doesn't make any sense to go for backup quarterback at 5th overall. That would be the dumbest shit ever. But, and also too with the Colts, I hope you guys don't pick Levis or Richardson. They work out. They have great interviews. Yes. I get it, but it's not Bryce Young and it's not CJ. Lamar would be great. I do like that part of it. Even with the injury, type of issue in the last couple of years, Arthur Blank on the Falcons was trying to say that the injuries missing 5-6 games a year. But still, that's going to be better than most of these other guys. And there's no guarantee that he's going to keep missing 5 or 6 games. I do see, Arthur Blank's point. But right now, Lamar is better than anyone that's in the draft. Whether you love him or you hate him, he's never had a true number one receiver, only a number one tight end. Hasn't had a really good offensive lineman, since Marshall Yanda. And the running game hasn't been good for him either to help him, since they had, kind of that 1-2 punch with Mark Ingram before he, fell off the face of the earth. So, but we'll see. I mean, there's going to be a lot more talk moving forward, but yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see. Let me see if I can find you a Cardinals logo, transparent logo here. Okay, let's see if this will work for you. So if I bring up Cardinal players, let's see if this one suits me. Oh, look at this. So I'm always trying to improve the channel no matter what. Oh, look at that. It's going to take work, going through. But then when we, Jordan, instead of having my Seattle logo, it's going to be a Seattle Mariner broadcast. But I mean, that just makes it look so much cooler, huh? Oh, this is going to be a fun year. Hopefully baseball will be the thing, that maybe will stick. You know what I mean? We're going to be doing a lot of games, and I know baseball isn't going to be for everyone. But like I said, I enjoy it. Just like NASCAR, maybe even more. I like it more than the NBA or college hoops, even though we have an amazing Final Four with your Iowa Hawkeyes, with Caitlin Clark, Player of the Year, the best player, women or man. Amazing, right? And then we have a bunch of new teams that are kind of sprinkled in. But I'm always going to enjoy doing NFL, college football, wrestling, baseball, NASCAR. Those are always going to be my favorite things. And hopefully with me being able to improve the thumbs and just trying to figure things on my own, make the presentation with everything on the screen look better, hopefully that we'll try to be able to gain, more of a following. We need probably about 300 to get to 20,000. It's definitely a battle. It's an uphill battle every day, just for them to even give out the notifications, which is sad, but it is what it is. I got to be able to keep strong and keep moving forward one step in front of the other. And eventually, things will hopefully pan out. And then hopefully we can get some people to come through, It's like, fuck, man, it's like, you can definitely tell if you feel, appreciated or not appreciated, especially if you were gone for a week, who's checking up, who actually is messaging, who actually cares, and who's just ghosting you, you know what I mean? And, I get it. Some people are busy. Some people got jobs. Some people are busy, but it's not like I'm streaming in the morning or in the afternoon. I mean, I'm usually streaming late at night when everyone's at home already, you know what I mean? So, hopefully we can, I know tomorrow we'll have more just because I'll be doing the Mariners and the Guardians, but, it would be nice to have some people say hello. A week off is fucking an eternity to me. That shit felt like a month to me. It's fucking terrible. Yeah. Let's throw up a picture of her. Here, let me see if I can get you Iowa. We'll do an Iowa Hawkeye one here. See if we can just keep it moving here. And it's cool. And I feel kind of proud too that I was able to figure out everything kind of on my own. Like I didn't do any tutorials, or anything like that. I just tried to, kind of just, click buttons and kind of figure things out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, but I'm definitely, with her, success, most people might not even care about the women's side, but people are going to watch the women's side specifically for her now. So that's good. It's like bringing good awareness, to women's hoops, which a lot of people don't watch, college hoops for women, let alone the men, and let alone WNBA. I mean, you have to, grow up in that. But yeah, definitely I'll represent it here for you. No worries. But it sucks that they have to play the best team with Don Staley as the head coach of South Carolina, who represented like Team USA. So you're literally going against the team that's like what, undefeated, hasn't even lost. But if you got Caitlin Clark, I mean, she can put up a triple-double, quadruple-double. She can put up, 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 points, 10 to 15 rebounds, 10 to 15 assists, maybe a block or two, a couple steals. She's all around. So, yeah, it's going to be very cool. And then plus, like I said, I love to be able to, show some love on that end too, regardless of what sport it is. I mean, we don't get to talk about too much female stuff, but obviously this is something that's worth, mentioning, talking about, and, throwing up some photos. And I even hooked you up with a little Hawkeye transparent there. It just makes everything look so much better. I wish I knew some of this stuff, before, but that's a part of the journey, I guess, as well, right? You got to be able to figure shit out on your own. And, this will help me be able to save money. Obviously thumbs are not cheap, but if I can figure out how to do a lot of them on my own, that'll help me, save some. I mean, there's going to be opportunities if I have enough to be able to, hook Johnny up or something. But I feel like I'm getting better and I'm figuring out some of the tricks of the trade with everything. So it'll be interesting to see how it all kind of plays out. And just so happy to be back after an unfair 1 week ban of nothing that I did wrong. Didn't show any video, and for whatever reason, they wanted to do that to me. And I mean, like I said, I already missed a week with the stomach flu, so having 2 weeks worth of no income is fucking terrible. That's the only way to put it. So sorry to hear that. No worries. Yeah, I know you took a couple days. I'm finally back, so hopefully we can get some of the regulars to kind of come back through. Sorry about the sinus infection. Those are terrible. And like I said, we're getting into baseball season, tomorrow. So just wanted to go over that. Phoenix 21, Minnesota 18. And I appreciate you very, very much. Nice to be back, even just for my mental health and your mental health and Sarah and the regulars. I don't think people realize how much it really does mean to have that in your back pocket where, yeah, you might go to the Hawk's Nest, and that's totally fine if that's your number one. I wouldn't expect it to be anything else. But just to hang out with us when you can, and we have others that will come through. And, it's just nice when we can get a lot of the goats together or people together. But it's just a fucking challenge when I feel like I'm not treated fairly compared to every other channel that's out there. I'm not getting a fair opportunity to grow and get my channel out to others. But hopefully with a couple of little adjustments with like the logos in the corner, the thumbnails, me figuring out how to use players and logos and do that. That'll hopefully help us, gain a few more, people, because a lot of people, it's just based off the clicks and whatnot. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very, very much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Cactus Jack loves you. Thank you very, very much. $10. Let's get to a hundo. No income for 2 weeks is brutal. I'll tell you. It got so bad where I was like, can I even afford an energy drink or like a Snapple? Like, no lie. I was like, this is not good. And just doing streams on Twitter, it sucks. It's not, like I said, if I had more people showing up, and if you could actually chat on the Twitter, then it would be better. But having to use the Twitter and then the Discord is terrible. So, because they don't allow any chatting just yet. But I imagine at some point they will. But it's like, it's nothing is like being here. I even considered trying to do a secondary channel, but it said that if I recorded on the secondary channel, that they could punish me on this again. And so I'm like, fuck that. So I created a Northwest Wrestling Fanatics like we have on the Discord, for wrestling and food and other things. But I didn't make it go live. Like, it's live, but I'm not using it yet. And then I created a Twitch channel, but I didn't, do anything on it. It was way too complicated. So I just said, fuck it. We'll just stream on Twitter. I won't be, discouraged, even though I was, and then grind it out. And I'm back. So here we are. Thank you so much. Let me know what you want to see for photos. I can get you some photos and we'll get that. $5. Yeah, I did see that. Bobby is coming home. Yeah, even if it's only for a year, but it'll just be cool to see. I don't know how many more years Bobby's got, but based on how he plays, that'll probably determine how many more years that he's going to go. If this is his last year or if he's got a couple more years left. And it's a prove it deal where he can get another contract for a year, 2-year deal with the Seahawks if he plays well or from another team. But at least he gets to come back for you. Should have never left. but the NFL is a business. And then we were talking about Hendon Hooker. I know more and more mocks and Pete has been interviewing, talking about Geno's, backup or replacement. And like I said, I know Levis and Richardson, are there for Sarah's Colts, and you're around the same draft position. But I think if you guys end up grabbing Hooker with that pick, fifth, that early, that would be a huge mistake. There's so many more needs that you guys have: defense, offensive line. Yes, we know Anderson will probably be gone third overall. You know what I mean? But there's so many question marks after Bryce Young and CJ Stroud and Anderson that I think that if you guys draft Hooker, that could be terrible. That you might go from having one of the best drafts last year in Seahawk history to possibly one of the maybe worst if you draft him there. Yes, it could pan out and it could work, but Geno's probably going to be the starter for a year or two. So you drafted a player that high to sit for a couple years, and he's coming off an ACL. That's a guy that you could probably pick late first round, second round, third round. So if you pick him fifth overall and there's a Hall of Fame offensive lineman or defensive player sitting there and you pass, that's going to be tough to stomach if that's what they do. So I don't know. And I know that a lot of the people in the Hawks Nest, they've seen Jalen Carter, they've seen Hooker, Levis, Richardson. There's other players, that they've been looking there, pass rushers, Miles Murphy. There's a lot of people that are kind of, going over certain names. Christian Gonzalez, if they go a couple picks higher than expected, get another stud corner. It's just going to be very interesting. Seattle has come a long ways from doing bad in drafts, questionable decisions, to having one of the best drafts in Seahawk franchise history last year. I hope they can double up, because the Niners are going to be good. And if you don't have a good draft, you'll still be better than the Rams or the Cardinals. But then if your draft isn't good, you're probably not going to be able to beat the Niners. But if you have a good draft, there's a chance that you can match them or maybe even beat them by a win if the Niners don't get hurt and we have to check out Brock Purdy and all that. So interested to see kind of what you think. Like I said, Hooker, now if he didn't have the ACL tear, obviously he would be higher on the draft board. But still, I think drafting Hooker, Levis, Richardson at that spot, 5, 6, 7, 8, would be a very high risk. Not necessarily high reward. It's high risk, possibly low reward. And I do think each guy has talent and they could succeed in a certain system. But I don't think every player, Hooker, Richardson, and Levis, could succeed in any system, kind of like Bryce and CJ or like Lamar. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We will see. But I can get you a Bobby Wagner photo if you like as well. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Let me know what you want, or I can give you some of the regulars, whatever you'd like. $15. Let's get to a hundo. Second or third round. But what if they picked him first round? People would be pissed. They could be like, well, they're banking that this guy is going to be the future after Geno, but what if he's not? You know what I mean? And coming off an injury, that would just be a head scratcher. I mean, Schneider and Carroll, if they make that move, that's, yes, it could pan out, but a lot of the people will be pointing fingers at the Seahawks if that happens, and not in a good way. They'll be like, what are they doing? You know what I mean? Especially with all the success that you guys had last year. We want to bank on Mariners and Seahawks having success together moving forward, not just the Mariners and the Seahawks start to slip, So we'll see. Oh, you are getting a throwback? Nice. Heck yeah, I'm excited. You got the Kelly Green with the Eagles, Tampa Bay with the creamsicle, which is not as cool. But if they do the white version with just the orange, outline, much sexier. But when you end up doing like orange with the it's just too orangey for me. You know what I mean? Even for me, and I'm a Buck fan, right? It reminds me too much of like Tennessee Volunteers, like a college thing. But the white ones with the orange, that looks sharp. That's kind of the one I remember with like Steve Young, from way back in the day, Vinny Testaverde. So David in the building, what to do? I did see that. But even with him out and Bryce out, you guys should still be solid. That's definitely a big piece in the lineup. But you guys are going to be able to recover. Next man up. You got plenty of other pieces that step up, and it's not going to be the same as him. As we know, he is a special player. It is going to hurt. That is one of the main players in the roster. And when I saw that, I thought of all the Eagle fans and Philly fans. They're thinking, fuck, but on the bright side, you got Trey Turner. Trey Turner will do double what Hoskins is going to do. So anything that you thought Hoskins was going to give you, Trey's going to give you double that. So at least be happy that you got one of the best baseball players on planet Earth. So. Right. But you've seen, I mean, I do a lot of reading, right? And then you'll get these people that cover the NFL and just randos, but you've seen more mock drafts, right? Lately with Hooker at your spot, which is a little alarming. You know what I mean? And, like I said, they may not even be, they may be looking at him, but I hope that you guys don't pull the trigger, also based off a guy with an injury, like unless you guys know something that I don't know, but that would be probably the riskiest thing that I've seen a team do in a top 5 pick position, and not saying that, necessarily Richardson or Levis are going to be much worse, but I don't know. I'm just not sold on those 3 guys 100%. And even Bryce and CJ, I like, but if you go back and look at a lot of the teams that have gone 1-2, with like Jameis Winston and, Carson Wentz, and you're going with all the guys that have gone 1-2 in the draft. Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, 1-2, 1-2. Not every guy pans out, when they go 1-2. You know what I mean? Like maybe the most successful one, maybe Andrew Luck, for a lot of these guys that have went 1-2 in a while, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's obviously ones as of late that we still have to wait on. And there's some really great talents like Trevor Lawrence that could be the best one over even Andrew Luck. But, just because the quarterback is there doesn't mean you have to get him that early. So. All right, let me see here. Let me get you some Seattle. One sec. All right, one sec here.
He's looking for a call. He's missed 4 straight. That one there, I thought there was some contact down low, enough body contact that perhaps there should be a whistle.
I'm upgrading your chip. I'm trying to improve everything. I'm always going to grind. I got a special one for you. That was from before, but we got to upgrade it just like I upgrade everything, right? You miss a week. You try not to, get depressed or have anxiety. You just try to keep grinding, regardless if, you're making money or you're not making money. People are showing up. Nobody's showing up. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, to say I missed you guys was a complete understatement. Oh, baby. It's funny, too, how something as simple as something transparent can just make the broadcast and everything just look so much better. But, it takes time. You have to go through. But I'm definitely going to try to do a lot of, upgrading as much as I can. And like I said, I'm just, when I do these things, it's all me. I'm not really... it's all kind of like trial and error when I do things and trying to find stuff that works. And then once I figure something out, then, with the logos and then obviously moving forward with the thumbs, it's exciting, and obviously if I have to pay someone for thumbs, I mean, that's expensive. So the more time I put in and techniques I can learn, the better moving forward. Unless I need something really special, and I got the extra money. But as we know, I mean, paying 20, 25, 30, 30, 35 is kind of too much. Let's be honest. I mean, unless someone's making like $500 a show or $300 a show, then that's not a big deal. But I mean, if you're making $100 or less and you're dropping that much, I mean, that's just too much. So I got to figure it out on my own. And I've gotten better, I feel, with all the things, I've gotten much, much better. You can definitely feel a little bit of Johnny flavor in the thumbs and whatnot. So he's always going to be the best, but if I can mimic and try to come up with some things, that are, halfway decent. This one, it was just me fucking around, but I figured out how to use players for the very first time. So I figured that out, and I got the Mariner logo there. And then obviously for tomorrow, we got that one, and that one kind of has a similar Johnny vibe. And, I'm learning, I'm trying. So. Trying to show you some new ones that maybe you haven't seen before. Hope you appreciate them. Sarah, Lily, and Cyberpunk, thank you for the help on the Twitter. I mean, anyone that has an opportunity to get Lamar definitely should. Definitely should. And he's not coming back. So I know, Megan, you appreciate his game and you got the bobble of him. And like I said, he's never had a number one receiver and never really has had a good, running back crew that could stay healthy, and lost Marshall Yanda to retirement, the Hall of Fame offensive lineman. And then the defense, usually is a pretty steady piece, there. But when Ozzie Newsome stepped down from some of his responsibilities, the drafting is still good, but they didn't really help, Lamar in the way that they could have. Yeah, you got Mark Andrews, who's like a number 1, number 2, number 3 tight end with Kittle and Kelsey. But you need to give a guy like that better O-line, running backs that don't get hurt, and wide receivers that can actually fucking catch the ball. So, yeah, I know he's gotten hurt 5-6 games a year the last couple years. But if any team has an opportunity to get Lamar without seriously overpaying, I would. Like I said, the teams that could really use him, obviously we got, just trying to think off the top of my head, Atlanta Falcons could definitely use him, even though they've said Desmond Ridder is a starting quarterback. Lamar would fit perfect there. The Jets, even though they're looking at Aaron Rodgers, that would be a fit. The Colts, might be the most desperate team that would be the most, it's not the most natural fit. It's probably the least natural fit, but that's the team that needs him the most, in my opinion. Lamar on the Colts. Lamar on Tampa Bay would be a good fit. And then Lamar on, who was the other team? Let's see. We got Falcons. We got Jets. We got Colts. We got Tampa Bay. Oh, and the number one spot, Miami. Miami would be the number one. Like, you put him there with Tyreek, you put him there with Waddle. I think deep down, that's where he wants to go. And obviously they have to figure out if McDaniel is going to keep Tua or just make the excuse, well, Tua, you were great under my coaching, but your concussions, we just got to move on. And obviously if you have a choice between Lamar and Tua, Tua's stats were good. He got hated on, but if you actually look at his completion percentage, you look at his a touchdown to interception ratio, his yards, you actually look at his stats before he got his concussions. He actually was number 1, number 2, number 4, number 5. His stats were good, but it's just Tua, and so there's always going to be the haters there, but Lamar would be a better fit in Miami than Tua, but I'm not sure, if that's going to end up happening or not. So we will see. That is a good question. Well, with the roster that they already have, the backups, they felt pretty comfortable with some of the backups that they already had last year. But if it's just going to be about blowing it up and rebuilding, then they might get a quarterback in return, in the trade. You never know how things might, swap. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like with the Goff and the Stafford thing. It's like where you trade one guy and then they pick up someone in return. Maybe not someone that they want right away, but it's just a piece, and then they can get a rookie to add on to it. But we don't even know yet because we don't even know what team would get him and what would be the compensation in return, with the draft picks, if they're going to swap a quarterback for quarterback in the deal or not. So that's definitely going to be a little tough to go over. But, I mean, I definitely think any team could use Lamar. And then Arthur Blank for the Falcons said, well, where a lot of teams aren't considering him because I think of the injuries, but you got to look at the draft. I guess if they're content with Ritter for another year, then fine. They're not planning on going to the playoffs anyways. But if you do get Lamar on the Falcons, they improve quite a bit. They're probably still not a playoff team. You know what I mean? But you never know. With Lamar and he's healthy for a full season, you should be able to get to 10 wins, right? You should be able to get to 10-7. That's not asking too much. 9-8, 10-7. It's Lamar. He's like a top 8 to 12 quarterback. Yeah, sometimes he doesn't play good. Sometimes he gets injured, but he's not as bad as Kyler. He's more focused here. He's won an MVP. He's a better runner. He just needs weapons to throw to. So if he went to like Tampa, Evans and Godwin. If he goes to Miami, Waddle and Tyreek. I mean, if Lamar goes to Miami, they could probably make an AFC championship game within the first 5 years. And who knows, maybe even the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But if you put that dynamic, if they can get another really good running back and you get that solidified, build the O-line, get the defense, and it's Lamar, McDaniel at coach, Waddle and Tyreek, they could probably make a deep AFC run, and they would be fucking exciting. More exciting than Lamar on the Ravens now. So we'll see if the relationship can be fixed, but I highly doubt it. I think Lamar is done. More than likely. So, all right, let me try to get you some other photos here.
Percentage. Ross had a chance to get the basket after the rebound by Paul. He's over 3 now from the floor. Tie game, midway point in the second quarter in this huge game in the Western Conference standings. Mike Conley unable to get that one. One and done there for the Wolves. Here comes KD. Here's Biombo. Missing and Reed with the backside board.
I'm surprised Chris Paul passed up that shot. He was the better option. The big wasn't in position to challenge. He was in a sweet spot. Why pass that up?
Edwards gets the bounce. Anthony Edwards playing through sickness tonight with 9 points, 3 assists. You talked about the great shooting of Kevin Durant. We were just told this is only the 3rd time in his career that he started a game 0 for 6. Wow, 3rd time.
36. What do we got? How many? Durant's got 12 minutes and 1 point, 0 for 6. He's backing down. Finally, his first basket. Yeah, I bet.
Paul's got McDaniels on, trying to shake him. He got to a spot. Another second chance. Loose ball foul here in Minnesota. Kobe gets the rebound and knocked to the floor.
Let's watch Kevin Durant get that bucket against Jake McDaniels. So you see, it just backs him down. But I want you to watch McDaniels' ability to close into the pocket of Kevin Durant and the kind of concentration. He closes to him. The challenge is as good as it can be, but Kevin has made that shot, I don't know. How many times do you think he's made that shot?
It's been a minute.
He's played almost 14 minutes. Played 6 minutes in the first quarter to start the second quarter. Foul was on Conley. 14 foul. Tie game, 4.5 to go. Now we got a Phoenix foul on Devin Booker. That is his first and the third on the Suns.
Yeah, we were talking break how fast this game has gone and how few fouls there have been. Now Minnesota's starting to add up.
Yeah, draft will be here sooner than you know it.
For both of these teams throughout the course of the year. And so to me, it was a little bit shocking the pace at which this was played.
Well, just a week ago, you had that situation in LA.
I'll hit you with a couple Steves.
Both Biombo and Ayton have done a nice job protecting the rim. The other thing they've done is off those block shots has got pace injected into them.
Conley, oh, great move. Loves it up for Gilbert. He was fouled by Okogie as he tried to throw it down.
We have seen both Biombo and Ayton send back multiple shots and tries to close out. Appropriate decision, but you need size at the rim. He had the dump down, and he never looked in Gobert's direction. You know, is that a lack of trust? Does that can't just be the aggressive thinking he's getting that contact whistle?
Gobert at the line.
Oh, this is a cool one. I haven't seen this one. This obviously we know the high stepping one is one of my favorites, but I found one I've never seen before. Look at this one. This is a cool one. Oh, look at that.
Opportunity in a huge matchup against the Bucks. Still
Ooh.
glimmer of hope at that 1 seed, and now you have to wonder because I think that's all but out.
They're only 2 games up on Philly for the 2 seed.
All right, I got one more for you.
Winding down, missed the long three, and Towns with the aggressive rebound.
It's cool for me too because I don't need to be a Seahawk fan, you know, but to be able to look at old school stuff, you know, and there's use different keywords and to be able to find new things that oh wow, look at that. I mean, you know, it's just cool, you know what I mean? You know how much I love. I feel like I'm kind of an old soul, you know. I'm 40, but I feel like, you know, I really do have a really strong love for the stuff in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. You know, compared to stuff that's from 2000 and current. You know, I have a lot more appreciation, but hope you enjoyed those. I'll cycle through them one more time. Appreciate you. And then we'll go over some of the players here for Sarah and the Cardinals as well. Very cool. Little bit of the black and white going into the nice little color. That's very cool. You never know what you're going to be able to find. Laser focus. $15. Let's get to a hundo. Yeah, everything old school and retro. Yeah, and it makes me feel better too, you know, let alone I haven't been here in, you know, a week, and then it was only around for a couple days and I missed another week. So hopefully people don't like just forget about me. You know, it's like I'm not going to just fall off the face of the earth, but, you know, but hopefully we'll get more people to kind of come through, and you know, I'm still going to be streaming around that same time, and it is a spring break, so I don't have a cutoff point necessarily where normally I'd have a cutoff point around like 10:30. So now it's like if I have the choice to go a little bit longer, but I'm just happy to be back, just because when you have 2 weeks of no income, it really fucking hurts. It's not like I'm rich by fucking any means, Like it was like, I hope I can pay rent, and pay bills. That's kind of where it's gone. Hi, Paisley. All right, let's go through the Cardinals here real quick. And again, we already went through, this is the potential lineup, obviously, for tomorrow. Guardians and Mariners on MLB opening day. So Julio Rodriguez batting first or second. Colton Wong would probably be a better leadoff hitter, but we had a lot of success with Julio leading off, even though he could be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. I mean, you can really put him anywhere, but Julio leading off, Colton Wong from the Brewers batting second, Ty France, the All-Star, batting third, Teoscar Hernandez from the Blue Jays batting cleanup, batting fourth, Eugenio Suarez batting fifth, Big Dumper Cal Raleigh batting sixth, Jared Kelenic batting seventh, AJ Pollock batting eighth, JP Crawford batting ninth, and then we have Luis Castillo on the mound. We're going against Shane Bieber. That's going to be tough. There's no guarantee that we win, but the crowd is going to be so energetic. I'm so excited. Like I said, this is the most hype that we've had for the Mariners here in the Pacific Northwest, or any Mariner fan, since the Ichiro, Griffey, Randy Johnson days. I mean, this has been a long time where we've actually been kind of good and, made some history last year. And this is probably the most anticipated year that we've had, maybe ever. Honestly, this is a lot of anticipation. So then let's go to the scoreboard. And all the games are going to be starting off tomorrow. We got Braves and Nationals at 10:05. I probably will watch some of these depending on what network, MLB Network, will choose what they're going to show. Then they got Giants and Yankees, Orioles and Red Sox, Brewers and Cubs, Tigers, Rays, Phillies, Rangers, Twins, Royals, Mets, Marlins, Pirates, Reds, Blue Jays, Cardinals. Oh my God, you start off with the Blue Jays? Oh my God, that's tough. I didn't realize you were playing them. And then my dad's Dodgers got the Diamondbacks, which they should be able to win. But holy hell, that's not that's like us. You have to pay a really tough opponent right out of the gate. And both of your teams are playoff teams, and Guardians and Mariners will probably be both playoff teams as well. Holy hell. Okay. So, and you got to go against Manoah. So Alek Manoah is a starting pitcher for Toronto, which he was last year, All-Star. And then you're going to go with Mikolas Miles. So interesting to see kind of how everything plays out. Oh my gosh. They have you as the underdog looking at the injury. And they haven't, obviously, Wainwright is out. Rodriguez is out. DeJong is out. Berea is day by day. And they haven't done the starting lineups for you guys. So you might have in your head projected starting lineup. Obviously, Goldie, Arenado, and Contreras, Jordan Walker. But we just have to see what order they're. And then once they, have that tomorrow, they'll go through the order with that. So, yeah, it's exciting. That was a really good pickup for us, moving forward and whatnot. And I expect us to win a lot of games this year. I think that we have a good chance. We could be as high as 1 or 2. But maybe we finish 3rd or 4th, but we're going to be able to do some damage. And that's facts. Let me throw up some Cardinal photos for you while you're in here as well. I'll switch that up. Try to take care of everyone. Oh, Cardinals. It's always going to make things better, especially when we have a topic and I can switch it over. See if I can find any more Jordan Walker photos for you while we're just chilling. I'm excited. Like I said, I don't get excited about rookies that often. But this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Brittany in the building. How are you? She says, it's late, 11:04. What are you doing up? Saw that you had one of your family members that had a baby. Congratulations. Obviously, we heard about the crazy story with what happened in Tennessee. Saw your little post with your little man. And that's a good thing, especially being at that age. You could still have the snugs and have that time. And obviously every day will be precious, moving forward with your boys. So, and then obviously we're going to be getting Chase back. What's the countdown, Brittany, with Chase? How many more weeks are we at? It's like every week is like too long, and I'm finally coming back from, had a week off with the stomach bug, came back for a couple days. Then they gave me a YouTube ban for a week, unfairly, for nothing I did wrong. And I'm finally back today, and here I am. So I missed out on doing the NASCAR stream with Mike and some of y'all, but streaming on Twitter by itself is fucking terrible. But I had to at least put out the effort instead of just being depressed and everything, because if I would have not streamed at all for a whole week, I might not be streaming today. I might be mentally not in a good headspace, even though, I'm back. I can be back, but I have to be like mentally okay to be able to go for this grind and whatnot. 49-47 Minnesota with 6 seconds left. Yes. Could be Martinsville or Talladega. Ooh, it's gonna be exciting. It's past your bedtime, but I do appreciate you being in here. Like I said, I've been gone for way too long, so we'll probably have some people trickle in when they can, and we'll get more hopefully tomorrow. Obviously, when I do the Guardians and the Mariners and whatnot, get back into like a regular routine. You got anything specific? I know you're probably going to be stepping out here in just a second. You got a favorite person on the Patriots that you're looking at in the draft, or just a favorite player on the team right now? I mean, it doesn't have to be Zappy, all right, but I can throw up a photo for you. Always try to make everyone's day a little bit better. And sometimes even throwing up a photo of a favorite player. It's nice to be able to see your favorite thing. So, but if you got someone that you want to see, I know you're not that big of a fan of Mac Jones. Or I could even go old school. Bailey Zappe. Zappe was actually pretty impressive. It's like you had some of these guys that, it's like you don't really know what you're going to get from the Zappies and the Brock Purdy's, but sometimes if you just get an opportunity to get out there, you can't get enamored and fall in love with where you drafted a guy. Oh, we drafted Mac in the first round, but if Mac's playing like shit, take him out, put the other guy in. Who cares if the other guy is undrafted, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth round, seventh? Who cares? If the guy's playing better football, give him a shot. And, for the opportunities that Bailey had, he actually kind of looked better in a lot of circumstances. Here, let me try to get you a Patriot logo so we can square you off that way. Hold on here. All right, I got you. Look at this. Improving everything. Oh, look at that. For you. So I got the one that's got Patriots there, right? But then we also got the standard one. Patriot one's kind of cool. It has actually the lettering there. Or we can just go bigger logo with Patriots. I don't know. Both look cool to me.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. After having my
McCourty, yeah. Well, they'll be looking at the draft and, obviously trying to replenish some of the pieces. So, yeah. You just got to be able to find those things that, make you happy when things are tough. For me, it's Paisley. So, and like I said, I'll try to do as many, different walks. Like today I went on 2. Like normally I don't go for 2-hour walks, but the weather was really good. And I was just kind of waiting to record. And I was like, I'm not going to do any basketball, and I'll just try to, play around with the thumbnails. And I figured out how to do some of the, transparency with the logos and the players. So my thumbnails should be much better moving forward. Still, I'm not a professional on the thumbs by any means, but just the little things that I learned today and yesterday should be able to help moving forward. So. Patty in the building. Yeah, baseball's still a thing. It definitely is still a thing. Not going to be for everyone. Like I said, I usually will do football NFL, college football, WWE, AEW first, then baseball, NASCAR, and then NBA and college hoops is at the very, very end. But yeah, Vlad Jr. is very good. Blue Jays are great. They have good pitching. Their players are nice. Them and the Mariners are the youngest, like up and coming teams in Major League Baseball as far as their youth movement. Bo Bichette, Vlad Jr., Alek Manoah. I mean, the team is good. And obviously we battled it out against each other in the playoffs, and we might have to go against each other again. But we are the two teams, Mariners and Blue Jays, that are the biggest threat to the Yankees and Astros. So if we can get past those two teams, then maybe the Blue Jays and Mariners will be the top dogs one day. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but we're both top 4 teams with those two teams. Blue Jays are good. They're one of my favorite teams actually to watch. Lots of talent there. They've definitely, turned the page and turned the corner. Yeah. Raiders and White Sox. Raiders for Jimmy. The Red Sox and the Pats. Yeah. Well, the one thing, you already had your run with the Patriots, so that's over. I mean, you had the Gronk and Belichick and Brady. You had that, right? But with the Red Sox, you had your championship run there too. But as of late, you want to be able to keep your guys. Like letting Mookie go was dumb. Like that should have been like, we'll give you whatever, no matter what, but at some point, sometimes players, they don't see like the team getting any better, and they want to try to join a championship caliber team like the Dodgers. And obviously without Mookie, there's no championship for the Dodgers. So I guess on Mookie's side, it was a good move, but for Red Sox fans, they're still pulling their hair out to this day. So yeah, I think everyone hates the Astros. I mean, but they're the best team in baseball. They got the pitching, they got the hitting, and even with Verlander gone to the Mets, that's what gives hope to the Blue Jays, Yankees, and Mariners that we're going to catch up a little bit. They're still really, really good, but there's a little bit more wiggle room without Verlander possibly pitching twice in a 7-game series. They have to figure out their other guys. The problem is their other guys are fucking really good. And then they also have guys that are mid-relievers and closers that are really fucking good. So, we'll have to kind of wait and see how everything all plays out and pans out. But it's going to be Astros, Yankees, Blue Jays, Mariners on one side. Guardians will probably be in the mix as well on the American League. And then on the National League, it'll be, Dodgers, Braves, Phillies, Cardinals, and then there'll be a few other teams sprinkled in that will probably do a little bit of damage as well. It's going to be fun. I'm definitely excited for tomorrow. And like I said, when you're a fanatic and you watch everything, and when a season ends of NFL or college football, I can still go over and talk about Lamar, and I can talk NFL every day. But it's nice to be able to have something to look forward to. And for me, being a Mariner fan since the 80s, and I met Ken Griffey Jr., in his rookie year in 89, I met Ken Griffey Sr., got the autograph, got the photo. That really is what made me Northwest Sports Fanatics, like meeting Griffey when I was 7 and first grade, and then meeting Sandy Koufax, Dodger legend. My dad's a Dodger fan since the 50s, and that's like the best left-handed pitcher ever. And meeting him at 10, that really shaped who I am today. Even though I liked basketball back then in the 80s and 90s and football, baseball to me back then was kind of like maybe third best. But as I've gotten older, like with me and Justin and Preston, I think it's like once you hit like over 30, 35, and you have a love for baseball, it starts to climb the ladder a little bit, and the NBA and college hoops goes down, and I feel like MLB starts to catch back up, to wrestling and football, and that's kind of where I'm at today. And a big part of why I love baseball is going to the games and getting fucking memorabilia. And again, I've gone to 7 Mariner games. I've already gotten 3 baseballs. So I've got a Kike Hernandez ball before COVID when he was on the Dodgers. And last year I was able to get a rookie Julio Rodriguez foul ball. And I got an Aaron Judge ball when the Yankees came to Seattle. Incredible. I don't know if you can even write a story better than that. I imagine there's probably not very many people out there, except for a few people that, maybe go Zach Campbell, like going to game in, game out all across the country. But getting a Julio and Aaron Judge, I don't think it got any better than that with Rookie of the Year, and obviously Aaron Judge being Aaron Judge, unless I was able to get like an Ohtani ball, but maybe that'll be the goal this year. So. You live in Canada, so Blue Jays, of course, but you're a Pirate fan from. Ooh, you are. So are you going to watch any Blue Jays and Pirates this year, or are you just kind of going to occasionally watch here and there? So, no, Belichick is still there. Yeah, Belichick is still there. But the team is not really good anymore. Obviously when you lose Brady and, you lose Gronk and you lose a lot of the pieces, Josh McDaniels calling the plays. Yeah, not really as good anymore. So, but yeah, it is what it is. They already had their long run. Three nice days in a row, first this year, but one more snow. Wow. Yeah. I'm in Oregon here, and normally we don't even get our snow till like February or March, which is a little odd. Everyone else in the Midwest and East Coast has like, Merry Christmas. They get to have it like at Christmas, before Christmas, Christmas Eve, sometimes on New Year's. Not us. We're lucky if we even get anything in December or January, and then usually it's like February, and if we don't get anything February, it'll be like March. Which is very, very weird and odd, but I guess that's just the, obviously global warming and everything else that's going on. So, but I like it. I mean, even if we only get snow, like last week, I woke up and there was snow on the ground, not a lot. And that doesn't usually happen a lot, but it's kind of nice, even if you only have snow for like a day. But I assume where you live, you actually get snow. For us, it's like maybe 1 to 6 inches here. Something like that, but normally like maybe 1 or 2 inch, just like trace a little bit. But for people in the Midwest, the East Coast, or, if you're in Canada, I would assume you're talking, 10 inches of snow, a foot, foot and a half, maybe, depending, I guess, where you live. So. (51-48) Timberwolves up on the Suns. All right, let me throw up this. Hi, Paisley. Okay. When, right now?
Yeah, they said they're on their way now.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Wow, that's crazy. Lots of snow. Let me see right here. See if I can find you something old school. One sec.
Just got an online offer on my car from Carmax. It's 100% real, good for 7 days. Cool.
Oh, look at that. That's a championship photo from '79.
Planet Fitness, there's hope with tons of energizing equipment in our judgment free zone. Join for $1 once a month, cancel anytime. Real and Wednesday Pickle Pit. I at Frankel State Theater. Oh, Anthony Davis. The brow. You know why? The sheets. Ooh, the 8,000 grit count. See, the thing is, Indian needs his beats, right? He's like, then he wakes up and just drops it. Just like, boom, for 300. Too much. Too many points. So look, this right here, this is AB's perfect set. And I need to find this too. Yes, sure.
Endless red tape, time of American energy and construction. Crazy talk of banning gas stoves and limiting cows farting. Biden and the left's woke ideology is insane and it's costing us at home and at the pump. But there's a way forward. Congress is considering generational legislation that cuts the tape and puts American energy and national security first. Tell Congresswoman Guzman.
You got a favorite player from the team?
Biden, support the Lower Energy Costs Act to make life more affordable.
All right, no worries. Paisley, calm down.
Goalie, taste your goals.
Calm down, honey. Got my pup in here. All right, start of the third quarter, 51-48. T-Wolves. I wish they actually released the batting order and like the starting lineups the night before, but obviously they have some adjusting to be able to do. So you obviously at this point we know all the starting pitching matchups with like Manoah and Mikolas for the Blue Jays and the Cardinals, but I'll probably end up watching that game. I'm looking at the schedule, looking at all the matchups, and that's pretty intriguing. Braves, Nats, Giants, Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox, Brewers, Cubs, Tigers, Rays, Phillies, Rangers, Twins, Royals, Mets, Marlins, Pirates, Reds. Blue Jays, Cardinals is the best matchup as far as like the morning, early afternoon. And I think the Guardians, Mariners is going to be pretty electric. Every time we play, it ends up being pretty competitive. So. Carl Anthony Towns. God, I haven't seen him in a while. Yeah, it's definitely kind of one of those time periods, though. It's like when football's over, you have to be able to find that next thing. If it's not NFL or, college football, most of us, that are the regulars on the channel we'll do AEW, WWE. We got WrestleMania this weekend, which looks like actually it's going to be pretty good. When Vince was in control, definitely was not as good. There was kind of a low point for 2 years where WWE was fucking terrible. But, when Triple H took over, it looked like things were getting much better. But then now, as of late, seems like there's been a lot more changes with things, maybe not as much buildup with certain things. So people are assuming that Vince still has his finger on the pulse. They say that he's not involved, but I highly doubt it. I imagine that he still is. So. Yeah, obviously we have Final Four on both sides, for women's and men's, and obviously for NBA, it's kind of the same teams from last year for the most part. You're going to have your Milwaukee Bucks, you're going to have your Boston Celtics, you're going to have your Sixers. That's pretty much it. And then on the opposite side, you're going to have the Nuggets, you're going to have the Kings, you'll have the Warriors, the Suns. It's a little bit more open on the Western Conference, but if everything goes the way it probably should, it more than likely will be Denver that will be representing the West, I would assume. And then on the East, it's probably going to be Milwaukee or Boston, one of those teams. I just don't think the Sixers have enough depth. I like Embiid a lot, but I can't trust Harden. And obviously Embiid doesn't play every game either. Embiid is great, but they need more on that roster if they want to compete with, I feel, Boston, and if they want to compete with Milwaukee. Yeah, usually for me, I try to do a little bit of everything. Like, even if college hoops isn't my favorite or NBA isn't my favorite, I try to do most of the time games, to do filler content. So, because I know I'll get more views that way. And, I already read and watch all the film anyway, so it's not going to be like I'm out of the loop on things. But of course, if I have a choice to do like baseball or NASCAR, which isn't going to be for everyone either, I would rather do those than do basketball. The basketball isn't the same as it was back in the 80s and 90s for me. So, all right, Sarah, where do we want to go from here? You got any other particular players that you want me to throw up from the Cardinals as we're just chilling and waiting for more people to kind of come through? What do we have, 15? We have 85 to go. Free throw is good. 55-50 Minnesota. I've had this kind of in the background, but been kind of half paying attention. But we're gonna have a fun weekend. I'm just glad that the ban is over and that I'm back, because we'll be able to do tomorrow Guardians and Mariners, then another game after that, and then we're gonna have WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday. It's gonna be pretty fun. It's gonna be a pretty good weekend. I'm just glad that I was able to get back into the groove of things. All right, see you tomorrow. Hi, Paisley. You're cool. You can hang out here with Dad. I know. Dad's here. Paisley is a needy girl. One sec here.
Coffee for Jew? Coffee for
FX is Dave. Premieres April 5th on FXX. Stream on Hulu.
What if you were a gigantic snack food maker and you had to wrestle a massively complex supply chain to satisfy cravings from Tokyo to Toledo? So you partner with IBM Consulting to bring together data and workflow so that every driver and merchandiser can serve a jalapeno.
All right, where is
and chocolate covered goodness with real-time data-driven precision. Let's create supply chains that have an appetite for performance. IBM, let's create.
there it is.
When you need a partner committed to your vision, agents or realtors are here for it. Here with market expertise that makes a difference. Here for it all, because that's who we are.
Every morning, I go through Chick-fil-A and pick up a large unsweetened iced tea with a splash of Diet Lemonade. One time, there was this handwritten note. Who didn't want to see a smiley face? I got another note on it the next time, and I was like, oh, we're just something.
Oh, there we go.
This is like
Oops.
a little splash of sunshine.
This is what I was looking for.
Feel like you're appreciated.
That other Yankee logo's too dark.
That simple note just had such a big impact. I write notes over
This is better.
Businesses nationwide are switching to Verizon Business Internet. It's a perfect fit for my small business. Verizon.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Not so small business too.
Get internet that keeps your business ready for anything from Verizon.
$20 holla. Thank you so much. Being broke for 2 weeks is not fun. And just getting back into the groove of things means a lot. Thank you so much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Like I said, I'm always going to try to improve everything, whether it be with like the logos in the corner, the thumbnails. I'm really going to try to do everything I can. It just is kind of ironic that I started to figure out some of that stuff just as in the last couple days and whatnot, and using the player images on the thumb. So thumbs should improve and get better, and obviously just the presentation on the screen as well. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me know what you want to see. Shep, my boy. Oh man, I mean it was rough, bro. not a fun time for your boy. You know what I mean? After being sick for a week, and then I still recorded on Twitter. You know, limited people, barely anything on the Dono side, but you know that it was depressing. You know what I mean? Barely having anybody show up, and you know, not really making anything. You know, but I felt for my mental health, it was probably better for me to do that rather than just be like depressed and miserable and angry and just be fucking pissed off for a week. Because if that happened, then I probably wouldn't be here today streaming. You know, I'd probably have to, who knows? But the main thing is I just wanted to get ready by at least MLB opening day, so that way I can watch games all day, and then we can end up doing the game tomorrow. So, but I've been putting in the work, man. I've missed you. You know, got all the different logos in the corner, anything transparent. You know, I'm starting to get a little bit better with, you know, some of the creativity and whatnot. Like this is the thumb. So I was able to figure out like logo, you know, in the corner, and then, you know, using like images. So I can make them much bigger, but that was just kind of like playing around, you know? So it's like I can do different players on the Mariners and do that. So the thumbnails should improve. And then for tomorrow's, this is tomorrow's that I made. You know, it definitely has kind of a Johnny feel. I'm not Johnny, but I try, and I feel I'm getting better, you know, and stuff to be able to grab people. And, you know, we already know how hard it is to be able to, you know, get people's attention and whatnot. And it's not like they're even giving out the notifications properly. So I got to work extra hard, more than the average YouTuber. So, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much. $20 holla. Let me know what you would like, and I'll take care of you. And good to see you, Shep. I know you've probably been working like a madman, and you know I had a lot of time to be able to exercise and go to the, you know, obviously I always had to make sure at least I had something from like dispensary, because if I wasn't able to even afford that, I would have lost my mind already. You know, it's already bad enough not being able to stream for a week, being sick, and then streaming for a couple days and then getting banned for a week for something I didn't do, which is fucking stupid. But I'll never do a WBC game ever again if they're going to be an asshole like that to me. And I probably won't do any college natties ever again either, because they just block the video anyways. So, you know, I mean, I guess I can do it just for the time being, you know, like while we're watching the game, but the video will never be able to be kept up. I don't know. They're just fucking haters. They just pick and choose what they want to hate on. And the only thing I can think of is the reason they blocked me is somebody that was reviewing it actually thought that I was showing the game because of my crispy 4K HD photos. And they were like, oh, this guy's showing the game. Let's give him a copyright strike. But I didn't, you know, I didn't show anything on video, but maybe my shit looked good enough where the guy was an idiot and thought that I actually did. But still, that made me miss out on, you know, well over $1,000 with missing 2 weeks, you know, which is fucking not fun, but I'm here. And, you know, I'll always keep grinding, man. $35. Let's get to a hundo. Missed you, bro. What's good in your life? Anything good? You want me to pull up any photos for you? You want some Lamar Jackson on the Falcons? What you looking at, man? I got you, bro. Yeah. Well, also, not only did they cut my stream off while I was still streaming, so then I just had to end it, right? But then they blocked the video. They took it away completely. The donos I got, I was able to keep, thank God, because that day I ended up getting like 100 to 200 in donos. So I didn't want that to be like, you know, some kind of loophole where like, well, you did this, so we get to keep it. I was like, oh, motherfuck, you know? So I was hoping that wasn't going to happen, because you never know, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, I didn't show any video, and there was plenty of other people streaming that had audio. So if they were punishing me for the audio, because you could hear the audio, I mean, everything is, you know, the same. You know, audio is audio. It's not a big deal. But for whatever reason, they, you know, wanted to pick on me, and they fucked up my whole life for, you know, a whole week. So, yeah. So I'm just trying to mentally stay strong and, you know, just try to come up with rent and bills. And like I was telling my buddy, like, I don't even think I can afford the room anymore. You know what I mean? Because the rent is like, even like, you know, based on how things are going, it's like almost impossible to even get there. I hope that things pick up, you know, and the room that we got, it's going to be like $300-400 a piece, you know, because it's like a 2-night thing that we're going to 2 Cardinal games. But luckily my boy makes good money, and he's going to get paid before we go. So he said if he has to pay for the room and I have to pay him back, you know, once I get money, depending on where I'm at that time, he will. So that way we don't fuck up and skip out on the room, because the room is like on the 50th floor. You know, we have like a bay lake view We can see the planes, the ships, the helicopters, the Ferris wheel for the fish market down below. You look to your left out the window, you can see Seattle Seahawks and the Mariners, stadiums there. So it's like, I want to make sure that, I don't have to change the room. I was willing to, but I know that he's like, no, dude, you know how to find the spots. And, it's like, you got to be able to have that escape, and it's like, if I'm going to go on a road trip once or twice a year, I don't want to sit in like $100 room staring at fucking buildings or nothing. I want to be able to have a view. And if that means I have to pay a couple $100 more per night to get that amazing 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10 view, I'm going to do it. And I don't regret it one bit. I know some people think it's crazy spending, $700-800 between two people for 2 nights, just for the room. But I'm telling you, if you can swing it, if it's only going to be once or twice a year, it's so worth it, compared to just a regular room. 80-inch TV, great view, HBO, all the channels included. My name is on the fucking TV when I walk in. It's got like granite everything. You can touch the mirror on different places and it'll light up like some kind of Kim Kardashian, like high-end mirror. Like everything is just fucking nice about that place. And the crazy thing is, with the security in the place, if you come in and you have like a key card, right? You can only operate the elevator with the key card. So if you get in and you push the button, it won't go. You have to scan your key card so that way they protect the people. Or if you got some kind of stalker or weirdo that's like following you home from the game or the bar, and they're like following you, right? Boom. If they don't have a card, they can't get to your floor. I think that's pretty cool. Obviously they care about their safety of the people that are there. And it's like a 5-star place. So I would assume if you have like a lower motel, they're not going to do that. But that one other little cool perk, from the place. And they have all kinds of cool facilities to work out, bars, restaurants within it. But me and my boy like to just be chilling upstairs. Each of us got a big, queen or king bed, look over to the left, look at the view, watch the TV, chill, go to the games, go eat, and then just fucking relax and hang out. You know what I mean? It's just, it's awesome, man. Like, you know what I mean? And he's my road trip buddy too. It's like, I road trip more with Justin than I do with Preston, and I never have any issues with him. And I'm super excited to go see the Cardinals here and the Mariners in a 2-game set just in about probably like 3 weeks from now. So. Yeah, I'm glad I'm back too, bro. And I was hoping that it was going to let me, come back before tomorrow. So today is a bonus. So I'm happy that at least, that they didn't like make it longer or whatever. But the shitty thing is that if I actually did something wrong, I would just be like, yeah, I fucked up, but I'm not dumb enough. I've done this for 11 years. I've never had that happen to me. Why would it happen then? Like, I'm just going to all of a sudden show the game. No, I know the rules. I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? But I still get penalized from time to time or get my video blocked in the United States or other countries or taken down because they're just fucking stupid. They did it for the Natty for college football. They did it for WBC. And maybe it was just because it was the WBC final. Like sometimes they don't mind about some of the other games, but once it gets to the final, when they know more people are going to be watching, then they just try to be an asshole to everyone. But I mean, if anything, if any streamer is doing the game, that means they love the game. It's not like they're just trying to make money. It's like they probably love and want to see what's going on. So they're actually doing something good for the WBC instead of doing something detrimental and bad for it. But I guess I'm the asshole that has to get fucking picked out of all the fucking streamers. Like my life isn't fucking hard enough. You know what I mean? That they have to fucking punch me into the ground with something like that. But it almost broke me. I won't lie. It almost broke me. Just because finances have been really low and it's tough and, just making sure that you have enough to eat and everything. It's not a fun feeling, but luckily, Odin's son and Cyberpunk donated, even though there was a few streams I did on Twitter where we didn't have anything, and that's really depressing, just grinding it out for 3 or 4 hours and not even getting a dono or having people show up. So definitely makes you feel underappreciated and feel like shit. But also it's, a secondary platform. It's not my main platform. So it was kind of expected, but still it doesn't make you feel good, when this is your dream and your full-time gig and, just feeling underappreciated. No one likes to feel underappreciated. No one works for free. You know what I mean? And, I'm just happy that I'm back now. Just, a lot of bullshit that I have to go through on the daily, man. Oh, good to hear. I was actually hoping that you were going to be able to stop in and say hello, regardless of, Dono or not, just because I, haven't been able to stream for fucking a week on YouTube. So, yeah, they have been making some good moves. Yeah. And then, Arthur Blank said Ritter's the starter, right? But they said that, because of the injuries, 5 to 6 games missed, he would improve your team a lot. He would be a good fit for the Falcons, the Jets, the Colts, the Bucks, and probably the best is Miami. Miami is the best fit. The most desperate team is Indianapolis. They need him probably the most, but they don't have wide receivers or tight end. So it's not like you can expect Lamar to be like, oh my God, but if Lamar went to like Tampa or went to like Miami, stats would go through the roof because you'd have Evans and Godwin and you'd have Tyreek and Waddle to throw to. You know what I mean? Not saying that Pittman is garbage. He's good, but you need more. I think that's a very honest thing to say. I think everyone can look at your team and say, even what you drafted last year with, Jelani Woods, and so that's not enough. It's not good enough. You need more. You need a true number one, A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf type of receiver. And until you get that to match your number one quarterback, you may not be able to take it to the next level. And usually when you get a quarterback that's a franchise guy, if an organization is smart, they will bring in a top 10 receiver within 3 years. And if your organization doesn't, then they're fucking stupid. But that's what it typically happens. Like with Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and look at the big jump, and that's what the Colts are going to need. Pittman to be like the 2 and someone better, like a DK Metcalf, that main guy, in my opinion. So, I mean, you can pick these like intermediate guys, but those will be okay for like wide receiver 3, 4, but the talent isn't good enough at wide receiver or tight end. And, it's not like you got Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, or Dallas Clark there, because that's the type of talent you need to succeed. And that is facts. Here, let me get you a Falcon logo, bro. Let me get you some Falcon logo. Look at that Falcon logo. I'll get you even a better one, though.
So tough with the left finish. And again, how many guys are going to be able to knock him off the pack? You see the size of his upper body.
17 points. Here's Paul pulling the trigger. The play corner. It's Chris Triple just the third for the Sox tonight. Ball with 11 points now.
I'll get you a better one. Oh.
Against his good friend Devin Booker. Gets in the basket. Puts it home. Oh, that's a big time play by the big man. And you can isolate him. You see now the 2 bigs on the floor are Nas and Towns.
Yeah, Braves tomorrow too. I'll be watching. Blue Jays and Cardinals. God, there's some good matchups, man.
Just straight line driving. Understand there's a big man coming, but athletically and frame-wise, very few guys, I don't care what position, can guard him. And now you got Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, we've seen him do this. Isolating him at the right elbow, right hand, straight hand drive by Karl-Anthony Towns. I like that option.
Minnesota made the playoffs last year for the first time.
Shep, your boy? Your boy? I mean, he looks good in the uniform. Your boy. Your boy. I know you're probably excited more about the Braves, at least at the moment. Good. I'm glad that you're here, bro. But I'll tell you, man, like, hitting my breaking point, it's like things have been so tough in my life in the last few years. It's just, I can only handle so much, you know what I mean? And fucking being sick for a week, you know what I mean? And then fucking getting the ban. I mean, I was like, what else can go fucking wrong for me? But at least now I got a little things, for graphics, and the thumbnails are going to be able to be improved. So at least something good came out of it, I guess. But yeah, it's just really, really tough, man. But at least I've been walking every day, spending time with Paisley, and just trying to keep my mind right. So that way I don't go down in the gutter. I mean, you're already missing out on 2 weeks worth of a month of revenue. That's not a good feeling. Most people wouldn't be able to survive. 2 weeks of not working in a month. I mean, you're fucked. So good. Glad you got your day off, man. Oh, you did? Oh, nice, dude. Heck yeah. Let me throw up some. Let me see. Where do I have it? Let's say, did I pull it up yet? Get close to getting any baseballs or anything in the games that you went to, or no?
Don't do your taxes. Meet with an expert who will do them for you. So you can do.
Oh, your boy's icy, dude. I'm always look at. Oh yeah. All right, hold up.
Expert guarantee. What's up, Steph?
Check this out. You can pre-qualify with CarMax fast and easy.
All right, one sec.
Pre-qualify with CarMax has no impact to your credit score.
Sorry, what's the habit?
Anyway, their folks can shop.
That's cool, man. I bet that was fun.
Each car fits the budget.
All right, let me throw up a photo for you.
Get pre-qualified with no impact to your credit score. CarMax.
And some of the best out there.
I love that.
The rivalry continues. And for Selden Bucks to claim the top spot of the conference. Then the Pelicans hope for some mile high magic, while the Joker looks to submit his place in history. Celtics Bucks. Pelicans Nuggets. Tomorrow on TNT.
Yeah, but sometimes I just don't understand why I get picked on so much. It's not like I'm sitting at fucking 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 subs and all that. It's like I'm just on the cusp of trying to, get to that next, that next plateau. You know what I mean? But it's like everyone and everything is trying to prevent me from getting there. I mean, I guess, with the sports gods and everything, like everyone's journey is different. I can't compare my journey to anyone else with everything that's happened to me in my life and, the Jordan rookie and everything. But goddamn, it's like, do I really have to fucking go through all this pain and suffering to be able to get to where I need to go to make it big? I mean, I guess, you know what I mean? And to make me fucking really battle tested and strong. But I mean, sometimes, guys, we get to a certain point where we break down and we do get weak. It's not like every guy is super strong all the time. And, sometimes it's just, I can't take it sometimes, it's just so frustrating, but I just got to keep going, no matter what. It's like when I take Paisley on a walk, no one else is going to take her for a walk in the house. So I have to do it, and it's good for my mental health too. So. Yeah, very sneaky. I'm very interested to see what you guys do, and hopefully you guys end up, making the right decision. I know there's a pass rusher, Miles Murphy. There'll be, you could look at Christian Gonzalez. If you get either one of those, that'll be a really good pick for you guys, at that spot. Pass rusher or arguably the best corner. That's what I would hope for your team. Jameson Meza right on time. Jameson would still try to come through. Say hello. Appreciate that. I got the Braves photo up here for you. And like I said, I started to figure out with like the transparent logos for the teams in the corner to make it more personable for you guys when we talk about certain things, to put out that extra effort. And then I figured out how to use like player photos to a certain degree for thumbs. So my thumbnail game should be getting better too. It's not going to be top tier yet, but I'm trying. I don't have all the applications yet. So, but I'm trying. But I'm figuring it out, and I figured it out organically just on my own. I didn't even do a tutorial. I just found out. I just had some things. I dragged some things, placed some things, stretched some things, and it fucking worked. And I was like, oh my God, okay, well, here we go. So I guess everything happens for a reason. And I am proud of that I've never really had help. I didn't even know how to use the green screen when I first started. I didn't know how to do anything, and here I am. So, you just got to be happy for what I have than what I don't have. But it would be nice to be able to get to 20,000 instead of going backwards and having a bunch of fake Grossi fans like unsub from me when they subbed to me when they did the raid, But I guess I would rather have people that are real, and we definitely got some really good pieces from the Grossi raid that stuck around and that are still here, But I guess that's just what happens, you get these fake raids that happen, and they just want to look cute in front of Tom, and then they just unsub a couple days later or whatever. So, and I don't want people like that. It's cool if people do it. But, ultimately you want people that are going to stick around, not be fake. So that's facts. Yeah, you got Scotty Miller. He's kind of injury prone. He usually has like growing issues, but he's a burner. So if he can stay healthy, he might be able to help you out. Yes, opening day baseball. Absolutely. I'm excited. Blue Jays, Cardinals, Guardians, Mariners, Dodgers, Diamondbacks. And I'll obviously cover the Dodgers, Diamondbacks while I'm watching Guardians and Mariners. And then the Braves play early against the Nats. That'll probably be the first game that I watch because it's the first one on between that or the Yankees, depending on which game. Maybe they'll play the Yankee game. I don't know. I'll have to look at the MLB network. I mean, I would probably rather watch the Braves, but I am intrigued about that new shortstop for the Yankees. Volpe. $5 holla. Glad we're back to the regularly scheduled broadcast. You mean you didn't like doing the Discord with the Twitter where you can't even comment on the Twitter? Yeah, it was fucking terrible, but that's, I had to do something for my mental health or I just would have lost it. So bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, $5 holla. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But things are getting a little better with everything, so I'll show you. So for the people that just came in, Jameson and Shep. So this is where I was just fucking around today. And then I was, the logo, I can make the different size in the corner, and then I was able to kind of play around with some images with players. I never knew how to do it before. So I finally was able to kind of figure that out, and I'll be able to use that type of, format. So that'll help. And then here's the thumb for tomorrow that I made. Definitely has kind of a Johnny feel, but, I can't afford to pay fucking $35 a thumb. I just can't do it. I'm having a hard time even making donos as it is, let alone to pay him. You know what I mean? And if I can come up with something that's close to what he can do and I don't have to pay him, then here we go. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty proud of this one. This one actually has a pretty good look to it. This one's not as good. I get it, but for me just fucking around for 5 minutes, for just today's stream, it was better than anything I would have did besides this. So I'm kind of proud of it, just being able to learn, on my own and not have anyone help me. You get a lot of satisfaction, from that. That's facts. Appreciate Megan with the 20, Jameson with the $5. Yeah, it just feels so good to be back. And it just sucks that they banned me unfairly. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. And I've never had that happen to me before, ever. So why would it happen year 11? Like all of a sudden I just fucking went stupid and I turned into an idiot. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do all these fucking bad things. Everything's been, going the wrong way for me anyways. Might as well just fuck my channel up, Stupid. Appreciate you, Jameson. $40. Let's get to Ando. Oh, yeah, dude, are you kidding me? Jesse Bates is a huge pickup. And you just got Calais Campbell today, I believe, right? Campbell went to the Falcons this morning. I'm not sure if you saw that or not, but, I mean, even though he's older, he knows that he can make an impact on and off the field, and that's why he chose you guys. So I like that. Nice pieces for you guys. Yeah. Well, the Braves are going to be better than the Falcons. The Braves actually are like, World Series contender. Falcons, depending on what happens with the team, they're still kind of in a rebuild mode, but you can tell the Panthers and Falcons are coming up, right? Buccaneers are kind of flatlining and going down, and the Saints are at the top. It's like we have to figure out who our quarterback is, and if we're just, Baker, Trask, we're tanking for, Caleb Williams or Drake May, so be it. So even if Tampa finishes 4th in the division this year, that's actually what I'm kind of secretly hoping that happens, because I want my franchise QB next year. I don't give a and the whole reason they brought Baker in is to be shitty. Think about it. Baker is a shitty quarterback. Trask is unproven from Florida, underneath Brady. But realistically, like, how many wins are we talking? 3 to 7? You know what I mean? So I hope closer to 3. You know what I mean? I don't think, even if Baker's got Evans and Godwin, Baker stinks. He did okay for the Rams, in like limited production, but Baker, for a guy that got picked number 1 overall, it's a bust, Now he has to do prove it deals, pretty much the rest of his career. And I really think that they brought Baker in as Baker probably thinks like, yes, I got a chance, but they really secretly brought you in because they wanted to tank but not say it. That's what I honestly think that they did, because we could have got any other quarterback but Baker. Why Baker? Trask and Baker, and that's supposed to get us to the promised land? Fuck no. So I think it's like trying to get 2 guys that are average, right? And then just, we got other players surrounding them that can make them look good at times. But overall, the inexperience for Trask and the garbage decision-making and arm and legs by Baker should ultimately help me get a top 3 pick, I hope. So, and then I can get my future QB, whether it be, Caleb Williams or Drake May, I'm hoping, or down the road, Arch Manning. But I need one of those. I need something. I need something to make my life feel good. Otherwise the Buccaneers are going to be terrible for the rest of my life. But at least I got 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 2 wins. Raiders, Chiefs Kingdom. Spank you very much. I don't know if I'll ever get one, but I do want one with the Blazers, but I'm probably never going to get that in my lifetime. The Ducks, I think I could get one before I die. And then the Mariners is the most likely, I feel. Even though that, we just are at the very beginning stages of the Julio Rodriguez greatness. But I think like we're already the 3rd or 4th best team in the American League. All we can do is keep getting better, moving on from here. So, and the All-Star game is in Seattle. Trout to Julio passing the torch. It's a matter of time before the Mariners get to another ALDS, eventually ALCS against Astros or Yankees or Blue Jays. And then by a miracle, hopefully at some point, maybe when Julio's in his 4th or 5th or 6th year, like really in his prime, that maybe we're the number 1 seed and we play against whoever, Dodgers, Braves, Cardinals, Phillies, and we have a chance to at least get there. That'll be a dream come true, because, we've never had success, from the Mariner level. And we've had a lot of great players, Griffey, Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, Julio. But, this seems different. And this is the most excited I've been for Mariner baseball since Ichiro and the Griffey, Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez era. That's facts. Maybe more. I'm probably anticipating more now because we were so bad and we had the longest drought in sports from all 4 major sports, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NFL. 21-year drought, and we broke it with Julio in his rookie year. And not only did we break it, we fucking won a round. What the hell? We beat the Blue Jays. That wasn't supposed to happen. So it shows you with kind of the pitching that we got with Castillo. The hitting wasn't very good, but we still were good enough, to get past the Blue Jays. But then we, couldn't get any hits against the Astros, even though we had some games with the Yordan Alvarez, Robbie Ray bullshit that happened. But now, and the roster looks much, much better. It makes me feel very confident, and I'll go through the roster here for you guys as I get caught up in the comments. Yes, I'm excited about all the new uniforms for football and baseball this year. You already are, bro. Fuck, dude. You know what I mean? And that shit scares me, because it's one thing like if you block a video, right? Or you block it from the United States, you block it in some other countries, or you just take it down. But I've never got a video like that where they did that to me. Like, they treated me like a criminal. Like I did something wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't do anything. And they treated me like some of these guys that do this shit all the time. You know what I mean? Like they didn't take the time to actually look to see that I wasn't showing the game. They just assumed, or they just didn't care. And they're like, fuck NWSF. Fuck this guy. We're going to do this and we're going to fucking ban him for a week. I'm like, it's not like things have been going that great for me anyways. 2023 has been not fun. It's been, considerably worse than 2022, like a lot, so I'm just hoping that I can keep the faith and things can turn around. So, but yeah, I might need a few of you for sure. Oh no. Did you get close? Did you get like within like a couple seats or a couple rows from you? Oh man, you have to be a honey badger, bro. That's the secret. When everyone else is on their phones, I'm not. I'm watching the game. Everyone's drinking and I can, drink and eat or whatever. But, on those days, if I'm like sober or whatever, or just a little bit, I'm going to be. And also the trick is to be 15 to 20 rows up off first base, right? And you have to be in the aisle seat. You want to sit in the aisle. So that way you have the ability to move left, up, down, right, up and down the steps. And that gives you a better chance to get a baseball. See, these are like little secrets, and that's why I've gotten 3 baseballs, out of 7 games. That's probably better than most people's percentages. And Justin, the guy that I go with, has been over 100 baseball games, Dodgers and Mariners combined, because he used to live in LA for a good chunk of his life. Never got a ball, never even got close. But yeah, my goal is to I haven't told him, but my goal is to try to get him a ball. Like, of course, I want to get a Julio ball or, someone, from the Mariners, or a Nolan Arenado or a Goldschmidt ball, a Jordan Walker ball. Fucking A, that would be pretty sweet if I could, get a Jordan Walker ball one day and then a Julio ball the next day. But I want to try to be able to give my boy a ball. Like I already got a couple Portland Beaver balls from when I was 10. I got 5 baseballs, sitting in the room. With K-Stup and everything, Aaron Judge, Julio, Kike Hernandez, a couple Beaver balls. He doesn't have one. So, I think it would be one of those things that would be uber special. It would be kind of cool if I could like subtly like knock it to him. Like the ball's coming and I just like pat it down and it like falls into his lap and he's like, yeah, I got it. Even if I like assisted him with it, you know what I mean? To make him feel like he got it instead of me just like getting it and then handing it to him. He still wouldn't care. He'd be like, oh my God, I love this. Because he already knows I'm a honey badger and honey badgers don't give a fuck. But it would just be really cool if he could get it himself. But I don't know. I'm going to be the one sitting in the aisle because he knows that I have the best shot. But I am going to try to do everything in my power in those 2 days. And like I said, I don't want to have to be a dick. You know what I mean? But like when balls are coming up into the stands from like JP Crawford, it's very easy to step in front of someone or step to the side of them. And when the ball comes, you just put your hand there. That's what people do. But a lot of times people don't stand up. People are sitting down. So it's like, if you're like, hey, throw me the ball, if you're like after the inning is over, they'll look. So if you're already standing up wanting the ball, you already have a better chance of getting it than sitting down and it just magically falling into your lap. But the funny thing is, every adult that gets greedy, that tries to catch a ball, like, after the inning is over, never gets it. They always drop it because they're drunk or they're not an athlete, and I don't ever bring them in. You know what I mean? I'm like I don't drop shit. If it comes in my area, it's mine. You know what I mean? I don't have to hurt anybody. If anyone, people hurt me. I've gotten hurt twice out of the 3 baseballs that I've gotten. People trying to abuse me, like ZZ Top Beard, who body checked me behind and made my knees bleed for 9 innings. And then the Karen, the blonde, the cute blonde that was like probably in her 20s that felt that Aaron Judge was single-handedly looking at her eyes only and that it was her baseball. And she didn't catch it off, me, Preston, and hers hands going into the scrum. It popped in the air. And that was the only chance that I had to get it. If it went forward in front of her seat, I wouldn't have been able to get it because I was in the middle. We were in seat like 7 and 8, dead middle. So I only had here, and that's it. I don't have a lot of room. And, for her to scream at me and hit my leg, it's a story that I'll never forget. But fuck it. I got the Aaron Judge ball. She didn't. She's a Karen. I'm not. Winner, O-Dog. So, I have the memory. I have the ball. And it was just kind of crazy to see the Yankee fans out because I was in the Yankee section because that's where Preston wanted to sit for Giancarlo Stanton. So I knew that I even told the old guy behind me, I'm going to get an Aaron Judge ball. I don't know how I'm going to get one, but it's just weird. When I go to the game, the players look at me like, it's like, I don't know, like when they hit the foul balls, they don't know where I'm at. But like with that Aaron Judge, it's like I get into these positions where I'm like right there to like have something special happen. All I got to do is put my hand out or make it happen. It's not like the Aaron Judge ball was like 8 rows over or 8 sections. Like literally the one spot it had to be is where the ball was thrown for me to get it. I don't know how to explain it. It's weird. And when the Julio ball came to me, it was like right there. The guy in front of me went to go take a piss or a shit with his kid. I went up to go take a piss as well, but there was too many people up there. Then I took a picture at the top of the stairs, at like row 80 or whatever. I was like, I feel good right now. It was the 9th inning. Walked down to the seat. 30 seconds later, I looked up. Foul ball by Julio. It's coming. No one's standing up. No one's moving, right? I stand up. It hits the guardrail. Dink, dink, bounces twice, lands in the seat next to the wife, one seat in front of me. I grab the ball, and then the husband comes back, 10 minutes later. The wife is like, there was a foul ball that came over here, the only one of the game. And the guy's like, who is it? And the wife is like, Julio. Then his eyes get all fucking big, and he's like, no. And she's like, yeah. And then he's like, where did it land? And then she points at his seat, and the guy fucking lost it. So the moral of the story, if you have to take a piss or shit, don't. Because if you do, you're not going to get the Julio ball. And luckily, the bathrooms were full, and I made the decision not to wait, and I went back down. It's like everything happens for a reason. If I would have went to the bathroom, I don't know if Justin would have got the ball. I mean, he was sitting right next to me, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the wife would have got it. I mean, all she had to do was reach into the seat. But here's, Honey Badger Orion, right on the aisle, following the ball as it's bouncing. My hand is going to be quicker than the wife's. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's weird, but maybe, I do like this Jordan Walker kid from the Cardinals. So maybe a Jordan Walker Julio ball, or maybe a Cal Raleigh ball, since I already got a Julio. I know for a fact where we're sitting, I'm going to have a chance to probably get 3 or 4 baseballs from JP Crawford. I'm going to have 1 or 2 chances probably in the first game, and I'm going to have 1 or 2 chances in the second game. And it so happens if he throws it high or I get my finger on it, because like in the game where I got the Julio, I could have got 4 baseballs that game. The first game I was drunk, and I dropped the Edgar Martinez statue like 10 times. We had Jaeger bombs, and I fucking had like 4 gummies, and then we had 10 or 12 tall boys, like 6 or 7 each. I think we spent like $150 on beer. It was nuts. Right. I felt sick in the 7th inning. I was like, I got to go back to the hotel. He's like, bro, the game is 7-7. We can't go. So I was in hell for the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. And then the next morning we were like, we're not drinking. Fuck that. We're getting a ball. And so water, soda, Griffey dogs. And then lo and behold, I get my finger on one in like the 2nd or 3rd inning from JP Crawford, but he threw it too hard. So it bent my finger back. If I had a mitt, I think I would have got it, but I don't believe in mitts. I want to be able to get it without one. Mitt is cheating. And then after I got my finger on it and his eyes got all big, I'm like, bro, I'm getting a ball. There's 2 other instances in that game where I could have stepped in front of someone, just like 1 or 2 rows or to the side of them. And I know I could have gotten that ball. But if I already got a Julio Rodriguez, foul ball, getting a JP Crawford ball after an inning doesn't really, it means something, but it means something, but when you already got one, do you really need to be a dick and get another one and another one? I guess some people are like that, like Zach Hampel, you know what I mean? But for me, I would probably give it to my boy, and then after he gets some baseballs, and kids get plenty. It's not like these kids don't get any. Kids get 90% of the baseballs that are, thrown into the crowd or foul balls. Every once in a while you'll get an adult and, but I just have to be that adult that is a big kid that I'm not going to hurt anybody. But if you're in my section, watch out, because I'm getting the ball. You ain't getting it. So I definitely want to get a ball for my bro, a Mariner one. But Suarez, big dumper, Teoscar Hernandez, Colton Wong, whatever. But also on the Cardinals side, Jordan Walker now, Contreras, and then obviously Arenado and Goldschmidt, because those are Hall of Famers. So I'm going to do everything in my power, and we have a really good spot because, like I said, the key sweet spot is about 15 to 20 rows back, because if you're in like the front row or in the first 10 rows, the way the rows are in a lot of stadiums, you're too close. You know what I mean? Unless they just flip it to you after the inning ends, you're not going to get any foul balls there. Trajectory for foul balls, because this is the Asian in me, you have to be at a certain angle for a check swing or like a late swing or an early swing from a right-handed hitter so that that ball can carry over and, travel about 15 to 20 rows back. So if you go like 25 and back, it's too far. You have to be like within 15 or 20 typically, and that's a sweet spot. And how I know that is because I've gotten all 3 of my baseballs that way, but I've gotten them with 3 different people. One where I was third in, I had the least likely chance to get it. where other two guys were on the guardrail and they had easier access to the ball than me, but one guy dropped it twice and I scooped it and he body checked me. And then the Julio hit the guardrail and I was there. And then the Aaron Judge, it was me, Preston, and the girl. And the ball went in the air after it got hit. And I knew it was going to be mine. I think if Preston would have forced it with his mitt, it probably would have fell forward and neither of us would have got the ball. So I think he knew that he already knows. Because I think he thought I was bullshitting, because every time I have like these special things happen, he's like, yeah, right. But then he experienced it with me firsthand. The first time I got the ball was with my dad. Second time, Justin. Third time, Preston. So I don't know what universe the sports gods, are doing for me to get a ball with a different person each time to make that memory. But yeah, I'll never forget it. And I don't know if I'll even be able to beat that unless I get a Shohei Ohtani ball, a Julio ball, Judge ball, Nolan Arenado, Goldschmidt, Jordan Walker, and all these other people. But I don't know how many games I'm going to be going to. But it's just weird because I just feel this energy. And like, I usually, I'll be dressed up. I'll have like the Julio jersey on. This year, I'm going to be really dressed up. I'm going to have the do-rag. I'm going to have the hat. I'm going to have the jersey. I got the Mariner chain. So I know I'm going to stand out more like when I go to Ducks games, and players see that. You know what I mean? And I know JP Crawford looked at me a few times, and obviously, he'll throw it up there, and, he already knows that, kids are going to get some, but I think he also knows there's going to be people that aren't 8 years old that would love to have a ball, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. No one goes to a game and says, oh, if a ball comes, I don't care. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? If anything, it makes you more of a fan at that point, especially if it ends up being someone special like Julio or Aaron Judge. Like, to me, like, it still is like shocking to me that fucking shit happened. Like, I mean, like, we're talking about 1 in a billion chances of that happening. You know what I mean? And I fucking had it happen. So I feel pretty good about my chances this year too. So, oh man, that's tough. Where I'm scrolling down. You like Nolan Smith? Oh, you're a Georgia Bulldog, so obviously you love all those guys. Yeah, once you guys get the clothes, you should send me a picture. I want to see the new jersey and the hat if you guys get it. All right, no worries. I'm going to be doing many, many Mariner games. I'm going to be Mr. Seattle Mariner. I mean, I imagine there's going to be some bandwagon newbies, and other people that are going to try to capitalize. But I mean, I did a lot of Mariner games last year, and I'm going to continue to, that is something that's really important to me. You know what I mean? Like, I like the Mariners more than the Blazers. Like, my love for the Mariners is like the Ducks and the Buccaneers and wrestling. It was just really tough because the Mariners and Blazers were so bad for so many years, but getting Julio really sparked an energy, with us here in the Pacific Northwest, which is fun. So. Yeah, I've never had that happen where they just took everyone out and like nobody was in the room, but I was still streaming. And then I was like, what's going on? And then I went to my email and I saw what they did and I just ended the stream. I could have kept going, but I'm not. Then at that point, I'm just streaming to no one. There's no one that's in there and they just took it down. But then not only that, but to make me get blocked for a week, that's like so extreme, like you took out like who knows how much money out of my pocket there, rent, bills, like $500, $600, $700 maybe, that's not, and I already missed that kind of money the week before when I missed a week with the stomach bug. So, missing out on a, $1,000 or more. I don't know how many people would be happy about that. So. Yeah, I'm excited, man. Like I said, the Falcons and the Panthers are getting better. Buccaneers are trying to get worse to get their quarterback, and then we'll be right back in the mix. And the Saints are going to be the best team in the NFC South. That's no doubt. Oh, yeah. No one wants to play them in the first round, and they can beat anybody. Like, I really feel that they can, maybe, it'll be tough to beat like the Nuggets, you know what I mean? But as far as anyone else, and the Kings are the real deal, but they need everyone healthy, and they would have to really come together at the right time. Oh, you were in the grass. Oh, where were you in the grass? Like home run area? Oh, you were living your best life. I would have had a lot of fun with you. Yeah, my buddy doesn't care about the autographs, and the players don't sign very often. You know what I mean? Like, because if one player goes over there, then there's going to be a million. Like, if Aaron Judge started signing, it'll never stop. You'll have the whole fucking stadium running over there. Same thing usually goes for Julio, unless it's like really early, and he'll go over by first base and usually sign for the kids, which he should. You know what I mean? And I'm never going to be one of those guys that's going to, push in front of kids. Kids always come first. Kids are always they're the ones that get the first opportunities. You know what I mean? But, I'm a big kid too. You know what I mean? And I already have Julio autographs. So it's like, I don't necessarily need a Julio autograph on a ball necessarily. I mean, it would be cool, like a photo, like a selfie, or like get the ball autograph. But I already got, BGS and PSA rookie cards with the autograph and whatnot. So, all right. Talk soon. I hope you feel better. I'm almost caught up with the comments now. Yeah, and I'll be doing a lot of Braves games, Jameson and Shep. So, if you guys, have some free time and, you want to watch the game together, I'm not opposed to doing Braves, Dodgers. I'll do some Cardinals for Sarah. If you're important to me on the channel, I'm going to do your teams, as much as I can. Of course, Mariners and Dodgers are going to come first for me and my dad. But then right after that, it's going to be Cardinals and Braves for you guys and a few others. So. All right, no problem. $40 in donos. Let's get to a hundo. $99.91 Suns over the Timberwolves. I was considering doing this particular matchup, but if I did, I wouldn't have figured out the players and the logos as far as like the thumbnail stuff. So I'm actually kind of happy that, obviously you always want more people to be able to come through, especially if I haven't been streaming for a week. But, tomorrow will be opening day. Hopefully we'll get more people, the regulars, let alone just fans. We can get some more Mariner fans, McGuardian fans, or baseball fans in general. And I'm going to try to do as many Mariner games as possible. And hopefully that'll be the thing that sticks for me to be able to help get more subs, because the NBA isn't it. College hoops isn't it. Wrestling, not, here and there. NFL, it's impossible. College football, it's like, I got to be able to find my niche. And like I said, I don't have a problem calling baseball games. I feel that people can do football, but calling a baseball game is much more difficult, with everything that goes on with it. But I enjoy the challenge. And like I said, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Home run area and beers, good food. Oh, absolutely. Chief has been sending me some food that he's had. Have you been watching any Ancient Aliens or any of the programs on History, Discovery, or Nat Geo? They've been good, bro. And then we'll go over the lineup here. So we know Julio, has started in leadoff, but we also have Colton Wong from the Brewers. So Colton Wong is more of a natural starter, but it works so well having Julio lead off. Probably should just continue to have him lead off, even though he's more of a 3 or 4 hitter or 5 hitter. So if you have Julio leading off, Colton Wong from the Brewers, he doesn't have very many Mariner photos, but I was lucky enough to be able to find this one. He'll be batting second or first, but in this projection, this is just me guessing. So we got Julio leading off, Colton Wong from the Brewers, All-Star last year, Ty France, brand new photo there too, sweet. Cleanup, Teoscar Hernandez from the Blue Jays. Power hitter, Eugenio Suarez, right, batting 5th. Big dumper, Cal Raleigh, batting 6th. And then the X factors for us. Jared Kelenic. If he can step up, that'll be really big for us. AJ Pollock, we picked him up new this year with Wong and Hernandez. And then batting 9th, JP Crawford. And on the mound is Luis Castillo. I'm excited, man. Like, the worst player in our starting lineup is fucking AJ Pollock. And he's like not very good. He's like a veteran guy who can bring like leadership. But if that's the worst hitter in our lineup, holy shit, that's much better than last year. So that's why I think a lot of Mariner fans were optimistic, where we know that the Astros and Yankees are going to be labeled better. But I think a lot of us think that we're better than the Blue Jays, just like we were last year. And I think we're going to be better this year again. I think the Blue Jays are going to be right there with us for 3rd, and then who knows, maybe if something happens to the Yankees, injuries, or the Astros losing Verlander to the Mets, maybe the Mariners can be a 1 or a 2. This year, next year, the year after. They're getting better and better and better, and our pitching is fantastic. Our relievers, mid-relievers, closers, fantastic. You know, we don't have, you know, really bad pieces anywhere. So that's kind of exciting. Like I said, I finally know what it feels like to be a Braves fan, to be a Cardinal fan, a Yankee fan, an Astro fan, a Dodger fan, a Phillies fan, like to be like recognized as like pretty good. You know, it feels good to be like a good team rather than just being this a garbage team, you know, game in, game out, year in and year out. Damn, how close were you to the ball, bro? Were you pretty close? You're probably just like drinking too much and not like getting up. Sometimes it catches you by surprise. You know, you don't realize, you know, how close the baseball is until it's too late because you literally have like a half second, right? You have like a half second to like move. And if you don't, you're not getting the ball. So I'll throw up a couple Brave photos for you guys. These are dope. I like these unis. I'm about to pull up here.
Coach's challenge here from Minnesota. There is some discussion between Warren Holtkamp, the official, and Minnesota head coach Chris Finch, who's still looking back.
Oh, nice. It went over your head. So it sounds like just that, like that JP Crawford ball that got thrown up. You know, it went up like probably 20 rows back, and I was in like row 15, and I had one or two fingers on it, but it bent them back, but I couldn't like grip it because it was going way too fast and too high, you know, but it definitely, I changed the trajectory of it when I touched it though. Sounds like it did for you too. It's a good lineup though, right, Jameson? Like, you know, you don't have to love the Mariners, but just to like compare what you guys have for the Braves and you guys just being greatness all the time. It's a good lineup. Julio, Colton Wong, Ty France, Teoscar Hernandez, Suarez, Raleigh. And then the X factors are Kelenic, Pollock, Crawford. Those are our three potential worst. But if Kelenic, he's been, you know, he was like number one in Cactus League. Like, you know, for batting average, everything was like really good, high 300, 400 average. So I'm not worried about Kelenic being bad. I think Crawford needs to improve some of his numbers, but Pollock is really the only liability. I like Crawford. I like Kelenic. I like everyone in the lineup. You know what I mean? The only one I don't really like is Pollock, but he will bring leadership and experience, and he'll be better than some of the others that we had that were like fillers. And if he plays shitty, they'll fill his spot with someone else that we have on the bench, and we have some other guys there. I have to look to see, like, you know, with some of the other roster spots to see who some of the backups are. But I'm excited, man. I am excited. It's going to be a lot of fun this year, especially when we know we actually have a shot. All right, let me know what you guys want to do for photos. You know, like I said, I've been banned for a week. So, you know, I'm just kind of grinding it out. I actually thought more people would show up, but apparently, I guess no one gives a shit, you know. I'm gone for a week and it doesn't matter. And then I was gone for another week before that. But hopefully, you know, it'll turn around and we'll get more people tomorrow and moving forward. But that was a little bit of a shocker to me. I was like, wow. I was like, you know, you think you get a little bit more, but, you know, it shows you YouTube doesn't give notifications, and, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But I guess, you know, for the people that do give a shit about me, I really do appreciate you guys. You know, it means a lot. And I'll tell you, if I didn't get help from Odin Sun and Cyberpunk, I really would have been fucked, you know, obviously money-wise, you know, even though there was, you know, streams, you know, that I did on Twitter for nothing, you know, just for my mental health. You know, it's tough. It's tough, you know, especially when you know, have hit big numbers, you know, 200 a day for 6 months straight, and, you know, people's kindness like you, Shep, and hitting 1,500 and then doing streams with nobody there and not making any money. Nothing, you know, it's a terrible feeling. It makes you just want to give up on life, you know, and give up on everything. It's, you know, and having a couple of those streams together like that, you know, and I didn't record yesterday because I just couldn't take it another stream of nobody showing up or nobody donating, you know, and I get it. It's, you know, on the alternate platform on Twitter and whatnot, but it's just not a good feeling. You know what I mean? To feel like that with all the hard work that I put in, and to feel like underappreciated. And that's just how I feel, you know, just feel like everyone is always against me, and it sucks. You know, I just want a fair shot to be able to grow, and hopefully 2023 will allow me to do that. I appreciate that. Oh, I got another really good one, though, for you guys here. One more awesome Ronald. But one thing it does make me, understand is nothing is guaranteed. And I always had a lot of gratitude. I feel I have more gratitude than any other YouTuber that's fucking out there. You know what I mean? But now my gratitude level and my appreciation level is even like a million times more, because when you have a dream and a passion and you're grinding, and then you don't get anything in return, and you're grinding and you're grinding and grinding and no one's there and you're not getting anything on the donut side either. It's one of the worst feelings that you can feel as a streamer, especially, when you know that you are good. And it's just very hard to describe what that felt like. But at least we're past that point now. I'm able to work a little bit on like the thumbs and figuring out how to do more of the logos with the transparency, as well as like the thumbs with the players. And so, yeah, I mean, I just want a fair shot. I don't think that's too much to ask, That's a cool Acuna. I know you do, Jameson. I appreciate you. I just wish more, we're like you guys. You know what I'm saying? I just got to pray and just try to stay as positive as I can. And a lot of praying. All right, Max Fried and Riley. Let's do that.
Two timeouts for Phoenix, one timeout for Minnesota. Neither team in the bonus.
Correct. Both teams with 2 team fouls, so each has a foul to give here in the last 2 minutes. Phoenix still has its challenge.
Yeah, you guys can fire off some players. I don't mind. I love looking at, different baseball photos and whatnot, especially we got opening day tomorrow. Not everyone cares, but I know you guys do. You guys care as much as I do or Sarah does, and that's what makes us, closer on certain things. It's like everyone can do the football thing, and that's great and all, but what about other than football? Are you there with me with the wrestling? If not, what about baseball? It's like, I'm going to have the connections. I don't expect every person to love baseball, NASCAR, wrestling, and football as much as me, but we have some of us that have a lot of similar interests, though, for sure. I mean, I couldn't imagine only watching football and that's it. You'd be a fucking miserable fuck if that's all you watch. Like if you were a Packer fan and then all you did was watch Packer football and that's it, you're going to be a depressed motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because all you're going to do is just fucking underachieve every year and complain and not get it done with the quarterback that you have. I would hate to be in that situation. That would be fucking terrible. But I know there's a lot of people that are like that just only watch one. That's weird to me, though. But I guess some people, that's who they are. Yeah, Max Fried's going to be nice. What's the schedule for MLB Network tomorrow? I got to check to see if it's Braves or Yankees. It's probably going to be Yankees because they kind of defer to them, but let me look to see what they got here. It might be regional. 103-97. Looks like Durant's going to get a win with his first game back. All right, let's go to MLB Network, and let me just go peek ahead till tomorrow morning, and let's see. There'll be games on all day because it's fucking opening day, so that's one awesome thing about opening day. I can just sit there and watch baseball all day until the Mariner game comes on. All right, they got high heat, and then The first game on is regional. Giants and Yankees or Braves Nationals. So I'm in Oregon. So what does that mean? Yankees or Nationals are at home. So which one do I get? I don't know. So I guess we'll find out when I turn on the TV tomorrow. And then Phillies, Rangers, Mets at Miami Marlins, one of the two of those games. And then obviously we get my game late at night en route. And then Guardians and Mariners. All the fire sale. You know, they're not trying to win. A lot of people boycotted the stadium and didn't even want to go there, you know, because they're not putting money in to make the team better. So a lot of people said, fuck it, I'm not going.
Started 0 for 6. That's the third time in his career that's ever happened. But when you have firepower with the likes of Booker and Paul, and then you get production and get off the bench, campaign at 11 o'clock, that's the third quarter.
So now, after a year has passed, would you guys still want Olsen, or would you rather have Freddie Freeman back? If you could go back and like decide now, like starting this year, if you had a choice to go back and have Freeman or to do Olsen, what would you guys want for the two of you?
Next game for Phoenix is home Friday against Denver. They have 2 games remaining against the Nuggets. They still have to go to the Lakers and Thunder.
He said fucking both. That's funny. Now I'm going to go check up on Paisley here real quick. You guys can look at that beautiful Braves icon and that photo as he's like, Wapa. He said, I'm beating Wapa, whatever team's ass I'm playing. Wapa. All right, let me check on Paisley here real quick. It'll be like 1 minute, and then we'll grind it out here probably for, I don't know. I mean, I don't really necessarily have a time set since it's spring break, so I can, you know, stay up later. But I mean, you know, I'm thinking maybe 28 more minutes. We'll go to the 3-hour mark. We'll see where you guys are at, and then, you know, if we want to just call it then, and then we'll just stream tomorrow for the game. Unless we get like a bum rush of people coming in here, and then I could always go for, you know, 4 hours or whatever. But just based on how it's been going, just seems like I'm non-existent now. So I'll probably just keep going, you know, until the 3-hour mark, and then we'll probably call it a day. You never know. Maybe we'll get a Cyberpunk or someone, you know, randomly showing up trying to save the day for us. You know, I don't know. We'll see. All right, give me a minute.
Victory at home. And Kevin Durant joins us now on Sports Center. Kevin, first of all, welcome back. Looked like it took you a minute to get going with your shot there in the game. What was going on there in the first half?
Man, just excited to be out there, I guess, rushing shots. So I just, you know, it's part of it. So I'm just trying to keep playing and make plays on the other end of the floor. And, you know, I made a couple shots there in the fourth quarter, so it's cool. So just keep building.
That second half, particularly in the third quarter, you guys took control of the game. It was nip and tuck up to that point. What was the key to control?
Yeah, just, you know, getting stops and getting rebounds. I think they did a good job of getting second chance points on us, and I think we tried to cut that off there in the second half. You know, this team was a high-powered team, it was a lot of shooters, so, you know, you give them to 100 points, that's a good game on the defensive side of the ball.
Devin Booker with another strong performance. What's it like playing with him, particularly the way you guys can both fill it up?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, we move the ball, we play the right way. Guys playing with, you know, pace and energy. So, you know, it's only going to get better the more minutes we get together and, you know, the more reps we get. So, look forward to it.
You guys are in position right now for home court in the first round in a Western Conference that's really, really competitive. What do you think is the key to staying there?
Staying healthy, just playing on one string on both ends of the floor, and you know, we'll see what happens. You know, it's, anything can happen these last couple weeks of the season, so we're just trying to focus on us.
All right, good to see you back out there. Thanks for making some time for us.
Appreciate it.
All right, Kevin Durant making his return with the Suns after missing 10 games with an ankle injury. So in his return, Devin Booker carried this with a team high 29 points. Booker's now having points per game with Durant and the Suns have won all of them. All right, coming up, much more from Durant's home debut with the Suns. Nick Friedel is going to join the show from Phoenix later on SportsCenter as the Suns get the win at home with Devin Booker leading the way. And Kevin Durant finding his rhythm when it counted. The Mavericks are closer to joining Mohammed, Jagdish, Sidney, and Clayton, and Kevin, Devin, Chris, and DeAndre. Dallas and Philly, Sixers East. We start with Luka Doncic first. Mavs up 8 behind the back pass. Josh Green over the back to Eli. For 3. Take a look at the Doncic pass. I mean, it's not Clint Longley to Drew Pearson, but time and place, it was pretty cool. Mavs up 11. All right, 5 seconds to play, first quarter. The Dawn down the floor to Green. Corner 3 and the foul. Not a really an ill-timed move by the 76ers right there. 10-0 run to end the first quarter. Doncic, first player in Mavs history. 2,000 points, 500 rebounds, 500 assists. Dallas up 9. We go to the second quarter. Doncic, the floater to go. Mavs up 12. You know, Dallas doing just enough to stay in front, but Philly doing just enough to stay close enough. Anthony Melton there. Doncic, the spin move there. He finished with 24 and 10. Mavs up 5 in the break, up 2 after 3. How about some Kyrie Irving? He had a little give and go with somebody sitting in the front row there. It looked like he wanted to give him the Evo. Irving, the fadeaway right there over multiple Sixers defenders. Yeah, he had 23 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. He went 8 for 17 from the field. So did Joel Embiid, and James Harden finds him there. And this game is tied. And then Harden to Embiid, and well, you know my love and not fade away. That's a 5-0 run. Sixers up 2. Next Sixers trip, Harden to Melton, corner 3. It's an 8-0 run. Sixers up 5. You see where we're going with this. Harden, Tyrese Maxey layup, 10-0 run. All the points assisted by Harden, who finished with 15 and 12. Embiid with 25, and the Sixers win it, 116-108. Harden 12 assists for the game, 5 of which went to Embiid. Harden averaging 5 assists per game to his running mate this season. That's on pace to be the most by any one player to another in a season over the last 25 years, and that is a huge loss for Dallas.
All right, I'm back. Paisley's really tired. We went on 2 1-hour walks today. And so I went over there. Normally she'll be like licky and be like, Dad loves you. And, I gave her a couple pets. I snugged her up into some blankets and whatnot, but she wants a snug, I think, with Dad. So. Yeah, but I'm pretty proud of this lineup that we got. You know what I mean? It's been a long time where I, got to be able to look at a lineup and be like, you know what? I can be proud of this fucking lineup. And I really do like the Wong Hernandez pickups, a little singles hitter, someone to play defense, the guy that can be the power hitter. And then not only him, but then you got Suarez and Raleigh. So, you got to think at one point or another, we could have a home run here, 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 and then occasionally maybe even one here. So almost like everyone in the lineup is going to go yard except for Wong, Pollock, and Crawford. That's good. 6 guys that can go yard, like, okay, Yeah, I can't wait to be able to actually watch you guys, and I'm actually hoping that the Brave game will come on. My girlfriend has to work, so I can't, do the games in the morning or afternoon. I don't get access to the room until after like 4 p.m. And that's why I usually do streams at like after 6 p.m., like 6, 7 p.m. And, for us, and I know it's kind of late for others and stuff, but that's just when the Mariners or Dodgers typically play because I live here on the West Coast. But I mean, I don't mind doing streams at like 4:30 or 5, but I guess it just depends on who shows up. And I'm going to try to be doing events more than just, random streams, unless we get more people to show up, Yeah, she's tired. But like I said, I always make sure I put in, that effort, because like I want to make sure that she's happy, and I want to make sure that I spend every day with her as if it were her last. I know dogs don't live a long time, but just all the love and energy and how she's really saved me, like mentally and, with depression and anxiety. It's like, even with things, how horrible they've been for me in the last 2 weeks, with the sickness and then with the ban. If I didn't have her, I don't know if I'd be streaming right now, because I can't pretend like some people, I can't just be like, put on a fake smile just to make money or to do streaming, like I have to be into it. I'm just really authentic, man. I just, if I'm not in a good spot, I can't do it. I can't fake. I'm not going to give you guys 50%, even though a lot of tubers and Twitch streamers do, they'll just whatever, but for me, it's like, I have to make sure I'm feeling good. So. Let me see if I can get a couple other photos here for you. This is kind of an interesting one of him like swinging, but it's like for a picture from behind. Where did it go? There it is. Yeah, and then I ended up watching, what did I watch earlier today? I watched Jim Belushi, where he's got the weed farm in Oregon, and then, linked up with the Blues Brothers and obviously Dan Aykroyd and, for like their weed strains. And I actually watched it like from when it started, like probably around 2020-ish, during like COVID. And now the new season's going to be starting, I think, like next week. But I didn't realize that when he asked Dan Aykroyd for the Blues Brothers to use the name for his weed, because that's like, an iconic brand, the Blues Brothers, right? Whether you listen to them or you know what they are or you don't, but it was like Dan Aykroyd and then obviously John Belushi, and then he did the drugs and he died, so Jim has, done shows like according to Jim, but now he's like kind of retired from like TV and movies, pretty much. And now he's just working on like his own little weed farm and his own, like, doing the weed stuff. But Dan Aykroyd was like, he went to Colombia when he was younger. And he said that there was like these 3 strains that are like high end. And he's like, if you go to Colombia and you get these seeds for these 3 strains, then we'll partner up. Because, he wanted to make sure that it's not just Jim growing regular stuff out here. You have to make it like, special. And he goes with like his like relative, and the relative loses 2 out of the 3 seeds, like early on. So they have to go back and talk to this other guy. And then eventually before they leave the trip, they get the seeds and whatnot. But I was actually looking, and he lives in, I think it's like southern or eastern Oregon. So it would be a little bit of a drive if I actually went to his like location or whatever. But based on what I saw, I was like, wow. And the operation that they have down there is like very high end. He's got a lot of people working for him. And it's a very detailed process and like very high end quality. I was actually kind of impressed watching the show. I never watched the show before, and the only reason that they put it on is because the new season's going to start. And I knew that he lived in Oregon, and I've seen, some of his stuff in certain places, even up here, but not a lot, only a little bit, unless, I don't really buy too much of just, the straight up just green, usually that's like pre-roll or, dispensary gummy type stuff and whatnot. So they probably have some of the stuff there, but obviously if you live in Eastern or Southern Oregon, it's all Belushi stuff down there, plus other people that are doing the thing. But I was impressed. I was like, wow, this show's kind of entertaining, and the family is kind of crazy. And yeah, it makes me actually want to go down there and like, not necessarily like visit him, but like to like go down there and kind of check it out. But maybe a road trip one day. But I was actually kind of impressed with the program, and I watched, I don't know how many episodes of like the first or second season, like 3 or 4 this morning, and I kind of got hooked on it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, well, when this new season comes out, which I think is season 3, I think it's coming out, and I'm gonna end up watching and see what other crazy adventures, because that's what it's about, having to go to those far away places, and also too, I know Jim went there because his brother died. With the yayo overdose or whatever, John Belushi, he saw him on Saturday Night Live, and, Jim has not really ever gotten over it. And then I think he wanted to kind of get closer to his brother. And they also did the whole, kind of Narcos vibe, with Pablo and like going to that area and everything. But obviously, he wants to be able to try to change things, more for like helping people rather than, on his end where people are dying. And there's a big market obviously with certain things that are over there. So, but yeah, it was very cool to be able to see the scenery and see like what Colombia is like. And also just to see like the culture. They had like some kind of like marijuana fest where they had like 150,000 people on the streets just like celebrating the marijuana in Colombia. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guy to come in to give you similar numbers. It's not Freddie Freeman, but at least you're getting similar type of production and numbers, though. So, yeah, we already knew KD more than likely was going to, just the hype factor alone, even though he's hurt. But he started off like 0 for 6, 0 for 8. Let me look to see the final box score. Towns had 25. Edwards had 31. Booker 29, Chris Paul had 19, Ayton only had 10. Durant went 5 for, holy shit, Durant went 5 for 18. That's terrible. 16 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. But hell, if you shoot 18 times, right, you could probably get, I don't know how many points out of that, 40? If you're going 14 out of 18, 15, oh man. But 5 for 18 for one of the best players in the world, but again, he's injured. But still, that's a terrible shooting percentage. So that's like, everyone talks about like NFL and they like to be able to complain, when guys go for like 15 for 45 and they make a big deal out of it. Have you noticed no one gives a shit about NBA and like the field goal percentage? It's not the same as like yards and completion percentage in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, oh, a guy goes 5 for 18. They don't even bring it up. I'll bring it up, because that's terrible. But they kind of just like brush it under the rug. They're like, 5 for 18. Hey, but he had 16 points. Yeah, but he went 5 for 18. Yeah. I want to own the division. I want the Mariners to be the best in the American League. I want them to be better than the Astros. But to be the best, you have to beat the best. And then to be able to beat the Astros and Yankees is a tough task. But I think the Blue Jays and Mariners can do it. I think that both of our teams are getting closer. Mariners more close than Blue Jays, but, I think the Blue Jays are right there too. So.
Sacramento still looking to clinch, which is a foregone conclusion. And when they do, it will snap the longest playoff drought in NBA history. 16 seasons. Domas Sabonis, Kevin Herter.
Reflect. How are you, man? Just getting ready for tomorrow, man. I had a 1 week. I got a 1 week. I was sick. I don't know when the last time I talked to you, but 1 week, couple weeks ago, I got the stomach bug, and then I was out for a week, and the stomach bug was fucking terrible. Then I recorded for a couple days, and then I did the World Baseball Classic, USA Japan, and then they gave me a copyright strike and banned me for a week. And I've been doing this for 11 years, and I've never had that happen. I didn't show any video whatsoever. So I don't know why they decided to pick on me for that particular reason, but not only did they end the stream while I was streaming, but then they prevented me from streaming for like a week, and I've had like no money for like 2 weeks. And, anyone that doesn't work for 2 weeks out of a month, you're pretty much fucked. So yeah, that's kind of where my life has been. And I was just able to come back today. So it feels good to be back. And I'll be doing a lot of the Mariner games, obviously, this season, starting tomorrow. And projected lineup, Julio Rodriguez, Colton Wong, Ty France, Teoscar Hernandez, Eugenio Suarez, Big Dumper Cal Raleigh, Jared Kelenic, AJ Pollock, who's our liability, JP Crawford, and Luis Castillo. That sounds a hell of a lot better, Reflect, than last year. If our worst player in the lineup is Pollock and he's bringing the leadership, I'll take it. You know what I mean? But I'm really and our pitching is good. Everything, service is still there. So, and then the one bright side out of everything that happened to me, I was able to slowly, but surely figure out like the transparent stuff with the logos in the corner of the screen there. So that way they look smooth and streamlined instead of finding logos that have square backs or circles around them. When they fit the screen like that, it doesn't matter if I'm talking Braves or we're going Yankees, or maybe I'm going it just looks good, but I never knew how to format certain things on certain, programs, but now I'm learning, and I finally was able to kind of put it together, and it looks so much better. So, we talk about a different topic. We have a different player that I bring up with the photo. Then we can switch up the logo. And then another cool thing, I was just fucking around with some of the photos and whatnot. And I finally figured out with the logos and the players and this was like obviously the thumb that I use, but I was finally able to figure out how to use players, for a thumb. I never knew how to do it, properly. And I finally figured it out by not even doing a tutorial. So I can adjust like the logo in the corner, make it bigger or smaller. I can make them bigger. I had a different photo that I was going to use. It was like a team photo. And then I blew up Julio huge in the middle, like big, like as big as I am. Like if we're looking at a thumb right now, Julio was as big as I am on the screen. But I think the bigger you stretch it out, depending on the pixels, it's going to look like distorted. So I have to find like that right, common ground where I can make it small to medium, where it looks good. If you stretch it out too big, it gets distorted and whatnot. But, I'm always trying to improve the channel any way that I can, little by little. And, before I was sick, and then after I was sick, and then before I got the ban, and then after I got the ban, it's been a lot of rough days, but I tried to just keep my sanity, and it just feels good to be back. It's a terrible feeling when you're, and like I said, I could have just said fuck it and not streamed at all for like a week, but I knew that my mental health would go down the gutter if I did that. I need to be in a rhythm. So, I decided to stream just on Twitter, but nobody watches on Twitter. Nobody, you can't chat on Twitter. You have to chat on the Discord, there. So I didn't assume that anyone would even show up or I would make no money. But I still did it just to put in the work ethic and put in the effort. So, but at least I feel good. I've been taking Paisley on walks every day. We went for 2 hours today. She's snugged up on the couch. And that's the one thing that I'm really blessed about, is that I've had a really rough 2 years, and it just seems like I keep getting knocked down. Instead of gaining, I'm losing, but it just feels good to know that even when my life is at a really low point, having Paisley Pup there in my life every day has helped me get through a lot of these days. That and the dispensary, because lucky enough, like right before everything, I had just enough to get like a box and like some, like pre-roll stuff. So that way I wouldn't lose my sanity. I don't drink anymore. So it's like, I'm not being able to stream properly. Everything is fucked. Money is limited. So I need to keep my sanity at some point. So at least I was able to do that. So, but good to see you, man. Good to see you. So that's kind of the breakdown, but I'll be doing the Mariner game tomorrow. And I was just hoping that I was going to be able to go live by tomorrow. And luckily it was today. And so I was going to do the Suns and Timberwolves, but I thought, a preview for the Mariners, and talking baseball. We have opening day tomorrow, which not everyone cares about, but I do a lot. And I'm going to be Mr. Mariners. I got to be that guy that represents Mariners the proper way on YouTube. I want to be known as the guy, what I mean? There's going to be others that will do, games, but I want to be one of the main guys, moving forward. And I already did stuff last year, so I think people remember me to a certain degree. And there's not necessarily YouTubers that are big from every team, but I definitely want to represent Seattle in the proper way. And if I can get some amazing visuals and we can have a good time with it, I'm all about that life. And I'm going to be going to the Cardinals game in a couple weeks for a 2-game set. So I'm definitely going to try to get some baseballs when I go. And if that happens, then I'm already 3 baseballs in 7 games. I'm going to try to get 5 baseballs in 9 games. I know that's really aggressive, but I mean, I feel that, I've already kind of know the tricks of the trade. I got 2 when I was 10 for AAA Portland Beavers. I gotten 3 Mariner baseballs, one, Kike Hernandez when he was on the Dodgers, and then, Julio and Aaron Judge. So I don't know if it gets any better than that, but I'm going to try. Nolan Arenado, Goldschmidt, Jordan Walker, the new rookie, Julio, Big Dumper, Teoscar Hernandez, Suarez. I think if I could get a ball other than Julio, I think I would want Cal Raleigh. But Cal Raleigh bats left, and I'm sitting at first base, so most of the foul balls are going to go towards third base. So unless he bats right-handed. If he bats right-handed as a switch, then maybe I'll be able to, get him a check swing or a late swing or early swing, and it'll come over in my area. But, yeah, I'm excited. How are you, Reflect? Appreciate you. Yeah, and I'm going to do as many, like I said, once Mariners are going, I'm not going to be doing a lot of these rando NBA games. March Madness is almost over for the men's and women's. So once we get to like NBA playoffs, yeah, I'll probably sprinkle in some stuff, but we're going to be doing, I'll still talk football, and stuff, for football stuff, but we'll primarily do, obviously Mariners for me, Dodgers for my dad, Braves for a few of the people here like Shepard and Jameson, Cardinals for Sarah. And then, I'll try to do like Sunday night baseball, but we'll be doing a lot of baseball. WrestleMania's this weekend also. So lots of wrestling that'll be sprinkled in also. But it is really going to be a lot of baseball, wrestling, NASCAR moving forward with a little bit of NFL, sprinkled in since we have the draft and whatnot. Yeah. And so I got the stomach bug for a week and that was terrible. And then, like I said, halfway through the game, right, through the World Baseball Classic Championship, and I did like 3 or 4 games prior, no problems. They just ended my stream while I was streaming, kicked everyone out of the room. Then they gave me a copyright strike. And then not only that, they banned me from streaming for a week. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't show any footage, but they're acting like I did, unless someone who just looked at my stream and they saw something like this, and they were like, oh, that's the game. Well, I'm not a fucking announcer. I'm not showing the game. You know what I mean? I might have some 4K or HD photos, but for someone to do that to me, they cost me a lot. I don't even really care necessarily about the subs and the views, but the donos and me being able to survive. I mean, 2 weeks of being out of work, when this is my full-time job, that fucking killed me, dude. Like, I didn't even know if I could eat. That's how bad it was. Like, no lie. But at least I'm back. And, at least my mental health is good now. So reflect with the 20. Appreciate you, man. But it just sucks because I feel if I did something wrong, I would admit to it. I didn't do anything wrong. I do the same thing every time. I never show footage. I know all the rules, but for whatever reason, they just wanted to kick me while I was down. And yeah. And it's like, it's one thing to miss out on a week with the stomach bug and then another week, a couple months later, but 2 things within like 2.5 weeks. Like, come on, man. Unbelievable. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. But I hope you like the little subtle additions that I've been trying to make, even just like the logo in the corner. And, it just makes everything look so much smoother, so much more streamlined. And then obviously being able to work with some of the, not only the logos, but the players. So that way I can make thumbs look better. And then this is one that I just was fucking around with. And I finally figured out the logo and the players. So I was able to, do something like this. And so I can make some stuff like that. And then I made tomorrow, I already made it. Here's my thumb for tomorrow. Pretty good. I feel like I'm getting better. I'm not going to be as good as Johnny, but anyone that pays $20 to $35 for a thumb, I mean, I guess if you're making shitloads of money, then, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, I just try to keep improving the skills, slowly but surely. And this one actually turned out pretty good. So, I mean, some of them will look better than this because it'll be like live play-by-play and reactions, and I'll know how to make it. And I'll have players. It'll look really nice. But this one actually turned out pretty good. And like I said, I'm not as good. I'm not a professional. You know what I mean? But I think that if I can have more of them look like this or like this, we're going to get more views. So, you get those people that, that just are looky-loos and they only click. Also you get those people that, have to have a fucking scoreboard. You can have a ticker on the bottom, but then I'd have to use a different platform for that unless I change up the look. So it's like you can get photos or a ticker, or you can have a scoreboard on another platform. And I think I'd rather have the ticker and the photos for me to be able to change them, depending on who we're talking to, rather than just having me stationary on the screen the whole time. Scoreboards are great. I love them. You know what I mean? But, everyone has their own style, I guess, And then we got Luis Castillo on the mound tomorrow, which will be awesome. Let me know what you want to see. Reflect. You got a particular player that you want me to throw up, and I'll be able to throw that up for you. I appreciate you, man. You have no idea, man. Like every dollar counts, and we are so far behind the 8 ball. Bang, bang. It's like, I was getting to a point where even on just the YouTube side, you're at a decent amount, rent, maybe 2 times rent, and you have money there. And then in the last couple months, I mean, it's like I haven't even been able to get enough to pay half of my rent, let alone rent, credit card, and like bills and food, but not even half of my rent. So it's like I have to pay rent late just to be able to survive, you know, so it's tough. You know, a lot of the heavy hitters have had different changes in their life, you know, jobs and other things, sickness, you know, other stuff that's been going on. And I'm just hoping that we can, you know, gain some more solid pieces just like you guys. And then we can kind of make up for that, you know, because when you go from like 8 heavy hitters to like 1, I mean, it's I don't know how to describe it, man. You know what I mean? Nothing is guaranteed, but if I didn't have gratitude before, I mean, you know, streaming on Twitter with no money and nobody watching, that might've been the shittiest feeling I've ever had, you know, I mean, besides being sick, you know, but I did it because I wanted to keep grinding and showing that work ethic, even if no one watched, even if nobody donated, even if it was just on Twitter, you know, but I could only do that for so many days before I literally was losing it, you know, but I'm back. So thank God it was only a week, but really shitty for them to do that to me when I literally did nothing wrong and they decided to penalize me like that. So not too fond of the tube, but at least I'm here. Yes. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Thanks, man. I mean, I'm just trying, you know, I'm just trying to improve. Like I found this new background, which I thought was really pretty. So like when we end up doing like evening games with the sunset, the logos look better. And then obviously me being able to implement players on thumbs now. I never knew how to do it. Figured it out. Didn't even watch a tutorial. I like to kind of figure shit out on my own and just kind of, you know, if I have to do a tutorial, I will. But sometimes it depends on what program you're using, the way things work when you know, layer shit. But it just feels good that I know now, and hopefully things will improve because, you know, thumbnails it's kind of one of those things too. People can have amazing thumbs, but a garbage stream. You know, they can just bait people with an amazing thumbnail that's awesome, a 10 out of 10 thumb, but the overall broadcast, either the person who's hosting or what it looks like, could be a 3, but they're still going to get views because of the thumb. You know, it's like maybe they don't stay as long, but I feel like a lot of it is kind of bullshit where you get these people that have great thumbnails, but they don't have good content, you know, but I just want to be able to get a fair shot and hopefully we will. $60. Let's get to a hundo. Oh, you have no idea, man. Like I'm trying to go on so many just because, yeah, I mean, if I didn't have Paisley or dispensaries close by, I'd be not in a good place right now. I'll tell you, you know what I mean? As long as I have shelter and I have food, I have to be grateful, you know, for the things that I have. I pray, you know, and you know, I just want, and it's not even about being rich and having the fame, you know, and being this like famous YouTuber. It's not about that. If anything, I want to be able to, you know, have enough to be able to open up a studio and help other people's dreams come true and, you know, have my legacy, you know, that particular way, you know, but it seems like I know what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, but I feel like I get picked on and I have a harder time, you know, with all the people that are doing sports for being an established channel to be able to get to the next step. It's like they put a fucking brick wall in front of me and they're pretty much saying, well, you know, you're not going to get past this. You know, it's like 5 years I've been trying to get past this wall and they're just not letting me. And they just keep knocking me down, you know, and hopefully I keep getting back up, you know, and, you know, it's like, I just want to be able to get notifications out to people and hopefully grow and get some new people. You know, I want to be able to get subs, not lose them. I don't want fake subs from Grossi's raid to, you know, take their sub away, which pretty much was happened because we were at 20,000 like twice. And then all the people that, you know, came over from there, except for a handful, stayed. And then everyone else just dipped, you know. And so I don't want fake subs like that, you know, for you to try to be cute in front of Tom and, you know, for a raid. Oh, raid for this guy. And then it lasts like a couple days and then they just take the sub away. It's like, don't even fucking sub to me if you're going to do that. You know what I mean? But that's what these people do. You know what I mean? They try to be all like, oh, look at me. You know what I mean? And they're doing that. And then, you know, I need people that are going to stay, you know, but again, people on YouTube are very fickle and, you know, I'm not going to change who I am. I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be genuine. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real. And I guess if people want fake, they can go somewhere else, you know? You know, I just want to be able to get the right people, but it's just tough. I don't know how many people, you know, that would have as much passion or energy like me that, you know, would be at a certain number after a couple years and have little or no growth in 5 years that wouldn't quit. You know what I mean? Think about that. You know, if you were sitting at like, you know, 18 to 20,000 subs after a couple years, and then you're grinding it out 5 years and you're still not being able to get through, you know what I mean? Because they're against you. You know, they control everything. You know, who sees your videos, who gets the notifications, who makes money, who doesn't. You know what I mean? I just don't understand why it's so hard for, me compared to these other channels that they can't give me a fair shot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be at 300,000 or 1 million subs, but based off my hard work, going from 20 to 21, 25, maybe 30, maybe, down the road 50. But based on how things have been going, it seems like I'm never going to get there. But if I can get the right people, even if it's only 5 or 10 or 15, that could be enough compared to having, 500 in the room that don't really give a shit about me. And, people, some that donate, some that don't. And, it's not just about the people that are in the room. It's the quality of the people, but it makes it super tough, with everything I'm doing. It's not easy, but I have to believe in my abilities and who I am. And, I just feel like I am the most slept on, person on YouTube as far as, talent. There's a lot of talented people that are on there, but I feel I could do TV. I can do podcasts. I can pretty much do anything. Not every YouTuber can do just anything. Most people are specialists where they can only do one thing, like, football, wrestling, and they just stick to that. So I just have to, pray that the right people come into my life at the right time. And then we can get that, that burst, whether it be a player from sports or a celebrity or, someone, from a network, just to be able to get me that extra push, because obviously the tube ain't doing it, which is kind of silly too, because if I'm able to get, a certain type of views and donos with barely anybody here, if you promote me and I'm making money, right, that means you make more money, the tube and Google, right? So the more people, the more money, but apparently that doesn't apply to me. So, but I do appreciate you tremendously. I mean, it's been a very lonely ride. And it just feels good to be back with you guys. Thank you so much, man. Let me know what you want to see for photos. And thank you so much, man. I try. Yeah, and I'll do WrestleMania this weekend too. Jerry Lawler oh yeah. Andy Kaufman, Letterman. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's weird what recommendations will come up on the feed. You know what I mean? On there. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that? I don't know if you watch South Park or not. I know South Park isn't for anyone, but they did like a chat, GPT. They did like a whole thing about it, like the algorithm where like, you have a situation like a text from a girl and then they put in, the thing and then it automatically comes up with like the best response. And so that way you don't ever have to talk to girls or, or whoever you're talking to. People did it for papers at school, talking to girlfriends or whatever, but they made a whole mockery out of it. But yeah, that is a real thing. Like it's kind of a funny episode. If anyone has seen it, it was aired a couple weeks ago. It's funny because a lot of people don't know what it is. And it's kind of hilarious if you actually see like what comes out from there, with the AI and everything. It's wild, man. Treat me Oak Island, man, the curse of Oak Island. But you know what? On that show, they're actually finding more and more. Every time I end up watching that show, they find something from like 1619 or like 1750 or 1820, and they're trying to look for the treasures and everything. And I don't know, anything on Discovery, History, Nat Geo, Ancient Aliens, anything that's, mysteries or, they have the one with Lawrence Fishburne about history's mysteries. And then they have another one, The Unexplained with William Shatner. Fucking awesome. I can watch that shit with Lawrence Fishburne with the mysteries unsolved, or the Lawrence, or the other one, The Unexplained with William Shatner. They're hour episodes and they're so awesome. Like I love stuff like that. I mean, once I start watching one episode, it leads to 2 and then 3, and sometimes I'll watch it, so many times. But yeah, but a lot of times that's what people see. It's like you could have a great channel, but if your thumbnail is average or bad, you might not get people to click on it or even give you a shot. You know what I mean? So a lot of times they want to be able to see the thumbnail and then they can decide from there if you're actually worth watching or you're going to move on to something else, you know. But I feel like the thumbnail stuff is like, that's what drives a lot of it. You know, it's like the better the thumbnail, the better chance you have, you know, even if you have a shitty channel. And I think shitty channel people know that, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, I got to do whatever I can do to try to do me, but it isn't the same. The algorithm when the first couple years was so much different. And like I said, the last 5 years have been hell for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, most channels that have talent that are good, that continue to improve, you know, they grow, you know what I mean? But apparently, you know, they turned everything off on mine. It's like, oh, anyone that subbed to my channel, nope, no one gets notifications. Like, how can you have like 20,000 people and you give out 10 notifications? How is that fair? You know what I mean? Like, tell me how that's fair. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, they only want to benefit the people that are making them money. And if you're not making them enough money, they're just like, fuck you. I'm like, all right, I guess, you know, it's just sad, man. Like, you know, I'm just trying to do my legacy and do my dream. And, you know, and I think that we could have something really, really special if given a fair shot. But I know most people probably would have quit in my situation. You know, it's like, you know, you have a channel, you know, you have talent, you're making things better and better. You have a partner, he quits on you, you know what I mean? And then you keep going. And then, you know, you have 5 years of not really being able to go anywhere. You know, like how many people, you know, and it took me fucking 10 years to go full time. And this is my 11th year, 7th year on YouTube. Think about how many people would have just said, fuck it, and just would have quit, even at a certain number, you know? But I kept going, and I'm going to continue to keep going, no matter how bad they keep fucking me over. So. Yeah, did you see that? Yeah, you saw it. The shit was hilarious because it was like, I don't know if it was like Kyle, and it was like to the girlfriend. So the girlfriend is like, you know, having a little conversation. It sends him a text message, and then Cartman and him find out about it or whatever. Then they plug in the information. They go into the chat GPT, gives him the results, copy and paste, sends it. And so then he never has to think for himself ever again. He just puts in whatever the other person puts in as the comment, and then the AI gives you the best response. Like the most like heartwarming, like, you know, kind of thoughtful response that you can give, you know, something that a normal guy wouldn't come up with, you know? Yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah, I would watch it. I would recommend it. It's fucking hilarious. It was on just a couple. I don't watch South Park on a regular basis, like my buddy Justin does. I mean, I'm more of like, you know, Bob's Burgers, King of the Hill, Simpsons, you know, Rick and Morty's. But I will once in a while, like Family Guy and South Park occasionally will be turned on. Sometimes I want to, you know, watch something of that nature, you know, that pushes the boundaries a little bit. But the South Park shit is good because it's relevant stuff that's happening now. And like Simpsons tries to do that too, you know. So when I can find stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, I definitely want. It was probably one of the funnier episodes I've seen from them because I already knew what it was about, but I knew that probably 60% of America or more still doesn't know what it is, you know, doesn't understand what it is, you know. Fucking, it's a really good episode. It'll make you laugh though. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. You know, and like I said, if anyone needs to be able to continuously keep working to be able to survive, it's me. So it's like, you know, missing a week is super detrimental. You know, it's not like, oh, I'm going to be fine, you know, but missing 2 weeks in like a month is, I don't even know how to think, you know, but luckily, you know, it's like I didn't get evicted, you know, I have to pay rent late, you know, and everything, but now I just got to keep grinding it out. And at least we have baseball season, so hopefully we'll be able to get some Mariner fans and baseball fans in general, and we'll have some wrestling fans maybe this weekend. And I just have to keep grinding it out. It's like almost like feel I can't even take fucking days off. Like I have to work 7 days a week, you know. And like I said, you know, if you work for something that's your dream, you're not working a day in your life. But you know, if you're a streamer and you're grinding, there is work, you know, especially if you're clicking buttons and you're doing things. Some people just sit here and talk and that's all they do. Start broadcast, end broadcast, and that's it, you know. But when you're actually doing work, you know, it does feel, you know, like a job, especially when I'm grinding out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, you know. Kevin Durant, he's got the Tupac hat on with the flannel, 16 points, 5 for 18. Is that good? Starting the game 0 for 6. Not good. Yeah, you like like I said, I mean, they have marathons on Comedy Central. So sometimes I get bored, I'll just go on there and I'll see which one it is. And we already know how long South Park has been on. I mean, it's been on fucking forever. So I mean, if you haven't seen every episode, I mean, you're going to be able to find things that are going to be relative and funny and whatnot. Reflect, you got anything you want me to be able to pull up for you, bro? We'll probably go here for another 15 minutes. I didn't expect anybody to come in. But you came in, and I really appreciate you, man. Like, you know, I figured for not streaming for a week, you know, and then actually being sick for a week, that we'd have more people show up, you know, just to say what's up, you know what I mean? But apparently not. So, you know, I guess that's what happens when you are sick for a week and you get banned for a week. But I'm hoping that we get a better turnout tomorrow and moving forward with opening day in baseball, and you know, we can go from there.
I'm looking forward to keep building those in and out the lineup should be the last since January, you know. So I want to.
I'll hit you with some Michael Penix Jr. for now, and if there's anything else that you want to see, let me know.
Yeah, I was just saying that to the guys in the locker room that it's hard for me to get sleep today. It was hard for me to stop thinking about the game, and sometimes people want it too bad. And come out there.
But I guess, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But I guess, you know, that everyone's journey is different, and I don't try to compare myself to anybody else. I know everyone's journey is their own journey, but goddamn, it just seems like for me, compared to every other sports streamer, you know, based on like, you know, who I am and where I'm at in subs and talent level, it's like I'm having to work so much harder for little or no. I mean, I get people and I have some amazing fans, but as far as like growth on the channel, like subs and views, it's like pulling teeth. Like I don't exist. You know, it's like I existed and then they just turned everything off on me. You know, this was what I was like early on. I was like, cool. First couple of years, things were good. You know, I was all right. I was Macho Man. You know what I mean? Things were good. And then it went from, all right, are you gonna help me out here? You know what? I'm not making you enough money, you know? And then, yeah. And then I guess not, you know, and there's me. So, but I just can't, you know, I can't just keep that anger inside, you know, because I mean, fucking hey, what am I supposed to do? You know? And it's like, oh, the channel's dead. Just start a new one. You know how long it would take me based on how things have happened to me now? If I was trying to grow another channel to get to where I'm at right now, it would probably take me fucking 80 years based on how they've been treating me. And I probably still wouldn't even get there. That's how bad it's been. You know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable. But the algorithms are not the same anymore. That's facts. Oh yeah, George Kirby's going to be great. Let's get some Kirby's up here too. But I do appreciate the people that are loyal to me. Anyone can be on my side when things are going good. You know, when you're seeing $100, $500, you know, you're seeing people show up and, you know, the vibe is good, you know, but, you know, when things are shitty and things are bad, then you can really tell who's got your back. That's facts.
As you know, the Masters isn't a team event. It's an individual major championship. But there are 18 players from the LIV Golf League among the 89 players who qualified for Augusta this year. So one of the subplots going in is LIV players versus PGA Tour players. These are among media storylines. When this weekend's LIV tournament begins in Orlando, some LIV players told reporters that there really isn't a beat. From LIV says he spent some time with Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy on Tuesday in Florida, where they all live. The two-time Masters champion Bubba Watson says he's not just trying to beat the players from the PGA Tour.
No, I'm trying to beat them all. Says, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, obviously the media and the storyline is going to be obviously LIV for.
I got a nice one here for you. I'm always going to take care of you. Look at this. Pow! With the Husky in it too. Definitely makes it look better.
For us, it's going to just really for myself, and it's just going to be business as usual going out and playing. And of course, what I'd like to have live, be on the top.
Oh my God, it's going to be awesome. You guys will be better than us, though. Our defense stinks. We'll probably again. So, I mean, everyone will be better than us. I mean, we'll be exciting on offense and whatnot, but
Well, we are. Among those 18 live players in the field, with 4 past champions since 2010, 7 Masters have been won by those currently on the live circuit, and 6 have been won by those on the PGA Tour, including mutual last 2 champions, Scotty Scheffler and Hideki Matsuyama.
I'm excited to watch I'm probably more excited to watch your quarterback than even my own, honestly.
Ever since we started looking for a better cash.
Oh, nice. Yeah, but history, discovery, and Nat Geo stuff has been very, very good. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Could be as early as like 6 through 10, probably somewhere in that range. Probably somewhere between 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the Falcons might be in the running. They say he might be the best corner in the draft, kind of like AJ Terrell, who's actually on the Falcons already, who's already like a top 5 corner. So if they think he's going to be a top 10 corner immediately, like Tariq Woolen or Sauce Gardner, that's pretty intriguing. So I mean, the thing is he didn't get a whole lot of pub, because our defense fucking sucked. We didn't have Kayvon Thibodeau. So yeah, for that one individual, he was good, but you didn't really notice him out there that much last year, just because we were getting run on and passed on the other side a lot. And, Gonzalez seems like he could be a pretty fucking good player. Like obviously for the Falcons, Miles Murphy, like I know with the Seahawks, there's been more mock drafts reflect that they have you guys penciled in on Hooker in the first round at like pick 5. I hope you guys aren't dumb enough to do that, because like he's coming off the ACL, right? It's not Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. And then you got Richardson there, and you got Levis there, and you got Hooker, but Hooker might be able to be a guy that you could pick up in the 2nd round or 3rd round. Why would you grab him with like the 5th pick overall? And you already have Geno there. So hopefully, they are looking at Hooker, but they're not dumb enough to try to pull the trigger that early, because you already had one of the best drafts in Seahawk history last year. You don't want to go from one of the best to one of the worst, because I guarantee if you guys pick Hooker at 5, everyone will be clowning, because they'll be like, yeah, it might pan out, but you drafted him way too high. And then if you end up leaving a Hall of Fame or Pro Bowl player there, like a Christian Gonzalez or a Miles, Miles Murphy or one of these other guys, because obviously we already know Anderson is the only for sure, probably guy. Jalen Carter, maybe, Gonzalez looks good. Miles Murphy looks good. But like Anderson from Alabama is going to be like a for sure stud. Everyone else is kind of like, I don't know, and this might be the shittiest draft that I've seen in a while. Out of the top 10 picks after Bryce and CJ, everyone else is a fucking question mark. We don't really know if these guys are going to be good or not, besides Anderson. So it's like Bryce, CJ, Anderson, that's it. And then everyone else, from 4 on to 12, I don't know. And I watch these guys very closely, and I'm not confident in a lot of these guys that are in the 1st round. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I hope it works out for you guys, because like I said, you're not that far behind San Francisco, but Gonzalez is the truth.
For the one-handed grab down the middle. In high school, he had perfect
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, it would be insane. Dude, the team is coming together. Yeah, especially if he ends up being a top 10 corner, and then you have 2 top 10 corners in 2 years. That would be unbelievable. Yeah, but there's been more and more mock drafts of people and experts that are penciling like Hooker in, and with like the 5th pick, I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, if you want to be dumb, but it's like if you didn't have Geno, there, and then Richardson and Levis, and you guys weren't sold on that, but there's so many better players that you can get, and you can still get Hooker later, possibly. You don't want to waste that pick. It's like, and unless everyone is thinking the same thing as me after 1st, 2nd, and 3rd pick, Bryce, CJ, Anderson, who knows? And so everyone is in that same category as who the fuck knows, and everyone's a project. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But hopefully you guys don't pick him there. That's what I want you guys to accumulate picks. You know what I mean? That would be the smart thing to do. You know, especially if you already have your eye on a guy. If you go from 5 to 9 and you can still get the same guy and an additional pick and it turns into 2 starters instead of 1, what's going to help out the team further long term, you know? It's like when you guys, got the Kenneth Walker and then you ended up getting, all the key pieces there, the Abraham Lucas and every single piece, Tariq Woolen, Charles Cross. I mean, that was one of the best drafts I've seen. So I'm hoping that you guys are smart because at that position, I don't know, man. Like I said, it's like Bryce, CJ, Anderson, and then obviously Gonzalez looks like he could be good, Miles Murphy, but like there's more question marks in the first round than I can remember. And that's not good. If you're doubting, that's not good. You want to know for sure this is, and a lot of these first rounders are not for sure. So it's kind of one of those odd drafts this year. Next year's will be better than this year's. That's facts. Yeah, prior to the injury, he was very good. I think Bryce and CJ are better than Hooker, but when Hooker was healthy, he looked better than Levis and Richardson to me. You know what I mean? But you might have Geno for 1 to 3 years. I'm not sure if he'll make it to that 4-year mark. We'll see. But I would think that Geno this year, Geno next year. And then if you're looking for a quarterback, maybe like 2 or 3 years down the road, then look for one, unless you want to get one to have him learn underneath Geno, but you don't want to waste a pick on him too high. Like if you can get Hendon Hooker in the 2nd and 3rd round and have him learn under Geno for a couple years, Geno gets hurt, he gets in for a game or 2, cool. But you don't want to waste picks and just like they act like they don't matter, especially when you're a team on the up and up, which the Seahawks are. Seahawks and Mariners are on the up and up, and you don't want to go from not knowing how to draft with Carroll and Schneider, post, Legion of Boom and Marshawn, and then figuring it out last year and then going backwards again. So I'm hoping that they can keep going forward. So the UW logo looks pretty fire, huh? And let me get you some George Kirby. It's just, I'm just always trying to improve little things here and there, no matter what. No one tells me to do it. I just, I'm a visual guy too. And I just, I know what I like and I know what visuals look good. I don't know. Plus I wouldn't want to be a fad anyways, just like, the streamer for the month or for a couple months. And then, no one knows anything after that. I want to, build a legacy, but I just, want a fair shot to do that.
So you serve up DiGiorno fully stuffed crust pizza because pizza with an extra layer of cheese stuffed edge to edge throughout the entire crust is always.
They got George Kirby at 5th in the rotation. They're going good, bad, good, bad, good in the rotation. So Luis Castillo, good, great, right? And then they're going like Robbie Ray, I think, right? Bad, but he could be good this year. And then Logan Gilbert, good. And then they got, maybe they have Robbie Ray 4th. I have to look at the rotation there, but it was like good, bad, good, bad, good. And they have George Kirby 5th. So maybe they have like Luis Castillo and then somebody, and then they got Gilbert and then Ray. And then they have, George Kirby 5th, but it's like good, bad, based off the pitching. Or maybe they have it like Castillo, Ray, Gilbert, like Marco Gonzalez or something, and then, and then fucking Kirby at 5th. But I get it. You don't want to, I guess, have the top 3 be like really, really good, and then 4 and 5 are just ass. Yeah, the rule changes are going to be interesting too.
So beginning in San Diego on a Friday night, Neil and Stan not happy.
We're with you on the late night crew. Love that rule. We'll come right back. This is Sports Center Los Angeles. Home is where the Durant.
Yeah, but after having a weak ban, you really start to like feel like, you know, what's important, you know, and how much you really miss working, you know, and grinding and mental health and hanging out and, you know, just being able to do what you love, you know, and having that taken away from me was terrible.
That's another major award for a trophy case. Sports Center.
It was like, I can't wait for opening day. I got to get through this. But I'm telling you, that week seemed so long.
That is so amazing because we said the exact same thing. Out there at Sports Center, we're in Los Angeles. He's Stan, I'm Neil. We've got our seats, but it's the 10 on each side of the NBA fence that are up for grabs. We got highlights and the latest standings to grab your attention. Yeah, the Phoenix Suns. They've been waiting for Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy that he was like our number 1 or number 2? And now, yeah. But I looked at the rotation. We'll have to see on how they did it. But I'm pretty sure the last time that I saw it, and this may be changed, but it was Luis Castillo first, Robbie Ray second, and then Gilbert third, even though we know Gilbert's better than Ray. And then I think like Marco, and then Kirby. And we already know Kirby and Castillo and Gilbert are the 3 best. And Ray and Gonzalez. Ray had potential, but just didn't do good last year, you know, compared to like Cy Young, you know, previous team and everything. And Marco is just terrible. You know what I mean? So maybe they're just doing it like that. So they just don't have the front end 3 good. And if we lose some games out of the good pitchers, and then we automatically lose, you know, game 4 and game 5 because we got Ray and Marco, you know, so I think that's what they're thinking. You know, they're trying to even it out so that way that they don't front load the lineup. So that way, if some reason, you know, Castillo loses, Gilbert loses, Kirby loses, of course we're going to lose with fucking Robbie Ray and Marco after that. You know, we don't want to go on a 5-game losing streak. So I think that's the method to the madness, that they're splitting them up that way. And we'll see if it changes. But I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, that's what they were thinking of doing. So I don't know if it's going to work. It does kind of make sense because I don't want to have fucking back-to-back Ray and fucking Gonzalez. I don't want 2 losses in a row. You know what I mean? But if you sprinkle them in, it gives you a better chance to maybe have them feed off that emotion, you know, and giving Ray that opportunity and whatnot. But I don't like Marco at all. I'm not even really liking Ray at all. I like Kirby, I like Gilbert, and I like Castillo, but I don't really like – I like Ray more than Marco, but what does that say? Not a whole lot. Marco's terrible. You know what I mean? And yeah, he was our number 1 a couple years ago. Fucking crazy. Yeah, Kirby's amazing. Kirby could end up being the best, you know, and he's a rookie at the same time as Julio. So that's what makes it extra special, you know, for me, is that seeing a guy that we bring up, yeah, Gilbert, you know, Castillo, we brought him over. All of them have got that talent, but, you know, Gilbert's great. Castillo is great. I love them. They're like the aces, but I think I like George the most because like we brought him up, you know, like this George is our guy, like Julio. So anytime you bring a guy up throughout the system, I root for those guys a little bit more and they become a little bit more. Cal Raleigh is another one. You know, that's why I like Julio. I like Cal. I like Suarez, but I like Cal more. You know, it's like I like the guys that are more homegrown. It means more to me. You know, it's like when you draft a guy or a guy comes over in free agency. A guy comes over in free agency. I'm not buying the jersey, but a guy that comes up with the team, I'm more likely to buy in and invest in that guy. So. Oh, God. And then especially when he played like shit last year, you know, I was like, oh, my, you know, like, what were we thinking? But at least that Gilbert and Castillo was a surprise. Like, wow, you know what I mean? And then Kirby, you know, just, you know, so it's like, yeah, we fucked up on the Ray, but we got 3 really good guys. And if it came down to it in a 7-game series, we're not fucking playing Ray at all or Marco, you know, unless they get in like mid reliever and like early, you know, for like a half inning or something. But, you know, we can go with Castillo twice, Gilbert twice, Kirby twice. And then if someone needs to go 3 times, then, you know, out of those 3, you know what I mean? But that would be the best route to go. But no reason to throw, you know, Ray at 100% or Kirby at 65%. Give me Kirby, you know, Marco at 100% or Castillo at 50%. Give me Castillo because I just feel that he's going to do better, you know, with obviously, you know, with velocity and just, you know, where you're going to be able to put that pitch. So we'll see where it goes. Do you have anything else you want me to be able to throw up for you? I said I should probably spend some time with my dog. You know, she's just laying there on the couch. I don't want to leave her alone too long. I wanted to go for at least 3 hours, even if I didn't know if anyone was going to show up or not, obviously, but I'm excited to see this lineup. Julio or Colton Wong leading off. Ty France. I got some new photos if you've seen these. So I'm always trying to make it better. Teoscar Hernandez, Suarez, Raleigh. Kelenic is the X factor for us this year. If we want to get past the Astros, Yankees, and Blue Jays, Kelenic has to play like he did in spring training, obviously for Cactus League, where he was leading the Cactus League in like everything, like hits, home runs, batting average, everything. So if Kelenic can be like a Cal, Raleigh, Suarez, Hernandez, France, Wong, Rodriguez, we're going to be fucking money. And then JP needs to improve his average, but I know he can get some timely hits. I don't expect any home runs. Good defense, improve your batting average, try to get it to 270 or higher. And I have no expectations for Pollock besides being that leader in the clubhouse as far as a veteran. But I don't really expect a lot on the defense or offense. But if this is the only liability in the starting lineup, I'll take that. We are much better off with Wong from the Brewers, Hernandez from the Blue Jays, and I'll take Pollock, even though it's a name. I don't really expect a whole lot of them. I don't think he's necessarily going to be a fan favorite like Wong or Hernandez for the new guys. But I like it. This team is much better than last year, and we were able to beat the Blue Jays last year in the ALDS. So. Yeah, we definitely, but unless he turns it around. Now, what happens if Robbie Ray ends up winning like 13, 14 games and goes 14-6 this year? If he does something like that, then we're like, okay, now we're getting back to that like Cy Young Robbie Ray. And if we have Ray do good with Kirby and Castillo and Gilbert, we're fucking untouchable. If Ray ends up being good this year, who's going to beat us? We're going to be able to fucking max out on everybody. We won't even have to worry that much about Marco. It's like we're going to have a starting 5 and we're going to get 4 wins out of 5. And the only one we'll lose is Marco. I know we're going to lose games, but the confidence level and then, Brash and all the guys that we have in the bullpen, we're going to fuck people up. I just can't wait, man. He did well. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch any of Cactus League or spring training? I actually tried to watch almost everything that was available on TV. I think the batting average will be better than 220. He struggled last year, but it's a mental for him. So if he can just, not feel the pressure of getting sent down, you're the guy, play within yourself. I think that Kelenic could actually get 250 to 275-ish. I'm, somewhere in that range. I don't know for the whole season, but there'll be a few months where he does pretty well. And I think 20 home runs could be done. 15 to 25, I think could be done. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the guys that could hit 20, if you look here, you could have 20 to 40 home runs. At some point, I'm hoping 50, Wong, probably 10 to 15. France, probably 20 to 35. Hernandez, probably 20 to 40. Suarez, 20 to 40. Raleigh, 20 to 28. And then we'll see with Kelenic. I don't know what we're going to get out of him, but Pollock, you're not going to get a whole lot. Crawford, you're not going to get a whole lot, but, we'll see where it goes. Fried, Strider, Morton, Dodd, Schuster, Major League debut. Wow. You guys are going to be good. But he's paid like a dominant one. Yeah, no, I hear you. White, who's a bust. Yeah. But also, if he didn't do so well in Cactus League, when you're batting like 300, 400 and you're playing well, yeah, I got to see you do it against, the talent. But I actually kind of believe in him. You know what I mean? I think that he could be the X factor for us. If we get second in the division or first, it could come down to him. What happens if he ends up batting like something crazy, like 250 to 300, and he has like 28 homers? That could be the difference of him batting 280 with 28 homers and feeding off the rest of the lineup. And that could be the difference between us beating the Astros or not beating the Astros for first place in the division. I really think that this could be a real big piece, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I mean, things could be good for him. Things could be horrible for him. Things could be good for Ray, terrible for Ray. But I have more faith in Kellenic than I do Ray. But I don't know. Maybe Ray will be able to turn the perception around for all the shit that happened from before, So, well, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. We're going to be rocking and rolling tomorrow. So I'll go spend some time with Paisley now since she was just kind of sitting on the couch and chilling. Definitely excited about tomorrow. And then we got the thumb already ready for tomorrow as well for the Guardians and Mariners. So should be fun. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the people that donated, that chatted, that, shared. And hopefully we can get some more of the regulars to come back. I know missing 2 weeks is not ideal. One was sick. The other was not my fault. And baseball starting tomorrow. So plenty of Mariner games, plenty of, baseball action, NASCAR, wrestling, WrestleMania this weekend as well. So I'm going to be grinding it out and trying to make up for lost time. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support. And we'll be back tomorrow, obviously, for the Guardians and the Mariners. And I don't know if I'll be doing every Mariner game, but I'll be trying to do most of them. So appreciate you guys very, very much. Best bet for tomorrow, not too sure. I'll have to look to see the starting lineups, which aren't posted yet, only starting pitching matchups. But I am intrigued with 2 matchups tomorrow. Number 1, Blue Jays and Cardinals, both playoff teams. And then obviously the Guardians and the Mariners, 2 playoff teams. Those are going to probably be 2 of the best games tomorrow. Very excited to see what happens. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.
Second player since the 99-2000 season, 40.5 rebounds and 5 assists in a win.